What's going on, Overwatch fans? Welcome back to another day of Apex. I'm Achilles. Joining me on the desk is Papa Smithy. We'll be bringing you the winners matches here today. It's time to get hyped up. High stakes matches here. Winners will advance into the semi-final.
I mean, the fireworks we got a week ago just on the opening round of 8 matches were a start. Now we get the winners matches, the creme de la creme of the teams. Of course, double elimination in the round of 8. These are the teams that have won already, so no one will be eliminated today. But 2 teams book their spot in the semifinals, which are a couple of weeks away, and kind of watch on and make sense of what the other teams are doing, have more time to prep their strategies. Big advantage if you can win today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one step closer to that final. Can get so close, you can just almost taste it, Papa Smithy, but they still have to go through each other. And starting things off today, it's actually going to be a rematch from Group B. X6-Gaming going up against Afreeca Freecs Blue, which, if you remember, we're undefeated, which means that X6 were unable to take a single map off of them.
I mean, and Group B is kind of surreal that we have 2 teams from Group B in the winners matches, because of all the groups. You had Group A, the group of death. You had other strong groups. Group B looked like it was going to be a soft group relative to some of the other groups, but X6 surprise win over Team EnVyUs last week. Suddenly, we're reevaluating our expectations for this team because they struggled to even make it to the round of 8, and now they're on the precipice of being just straight into the semifinals.
Yeah, one more loss, and that's it for EnVyUs there. So could be out of the tournament very shortly, unless they can turn their performance around.
That's for another day.
Yeah, that's for another day. But a bit of a misread on X6, picking them because they thought that they were going to be the most predictable team. We were touting these guys coming into the tournament as potentially the new meta Athena, this up-and-coming group of youngsters that could take the tournament. And after their performance against Envy, you can't really discredit them. Beating Afreeca Freecs Blue, a very tough ask for them, but possible.
And Luxury Watch Blue will take on Kongdoo Panthera in our second match of the day. Some asterisks, some, of course, late news involving Luxury Watch Blue's roster that we'll get into more. With Giannis not being able to play, means that Kongdoo Panthera come in big favorites. But they've been into the winner's bracket before and failed, and faced Luxury Watch Blue twice in the round of 8 last season. So a lot of history there. But as you say, focusing on this match, Afreeca Freecs Blue looking for the perfect season. Very good start so far, 12-0, looking to make it 15. Only takes 22 maps to make it champion if you do it as fast and as cleanly as Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3-0 over Meta Athena, just kind of shutting them out, making them, one of the expected teams to fall out of the round of 8 very early on, unless they can turn their performance around, much like EnVyUs. So rough stuff for them, but Afreeca Freecs Blue are looking unstoppable. The additions of, Lucid on the support just really helping to enable these DPS, and honestly, it's hard to say who is the best player on Afreeca Freecs. We were kind of talking about this before. It's really hard to judge because in the past you might have said Arhan, but now it's kind of up and down. Recry puts a very strong argument for himself to be at the top of the table.
And Mono as well. We're in Korea, so we can talk about esports at the water cooler, and that's my topic. It's who do you think the best player on Afreeca Freecs Blue is, and no one's saying Arhan. It's not Season 1, but there's a lot of supporting cast around him. This Arhan-focused team has now has multiple weapons, and the arsenal together has not been penetrated by any team. Insane to go 12-0, 15-0 into the semifinals. We're getting to crazy territory.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, given their performance against X6 in the group stage, you have to give the upper hand to Afreeca Freecs Blue. But X6 turning things around, surprising EnVyUs. Again, thinking that they were going to be the easiest team to read. The wild card, as they were touting it, was CONBOX Spirit, but then X6 surprised. They take them to 5 maps, and they end up winning the series.
And there's still a chance we'll get some Junkrat in this first series, Achilles.
Very true.
That was a sort of surprise. You can't scout. If you go on Winston's lab, trust me, No Smite was basically Winston only, and then suddenly the Junkrat came out of nowhere. The rest was history. There's a Lucid fan. Lucid has been really breathing new life into Afreeca Freecs Blue, who have just surprised everyone, I think, with just their level of dominance this season.
Oh, yeah, there's some very rowdy fans here in the audience.
They can't decide if they're covering their faces or cheering.
Do we just embrace it? Do we just hide ourselves? It's kind of, they're indecisive on that, but their support is clear. Their energy is very clear as well. So it's an exciting day. It's a pretty packed crowd as well earlier on today. Hot 6 throwing on a bit of a meet and greet with a lot of the teams. So people got to get autographs from a lot of the players and stuff like that. So everybody's having a good time all day. And now we get to go into the matches.
Yeah, meeting their heroes. We're going to meet them in-game so shortly. Really hyped for both these series. Again, expected winners now. You say Afreeca Freecs Blue over X6. That's a very safe prediction. With the news that Giannis isn't playing, you have to tip Kongdoo Panthera. But the script didn't mean much a week ago, Achilles, and now you start wondering, could we have more surprises in store?
I mean, I'm down for surprises. The 3-1 victory from Kongdoo Panthera over Lunatic-Hai after getting reverse swept by them in the group stage was a pleasant surprise at that. So if there's more prepared for us, then I am ready to accept them with open arms.
Well, it's good that you're ready, because I think we're just about to hear some words from our two teams, X6-Gaming, Afreeca Freecs Blue. They've got some trash talk, I'm sure, and I'm hoping it's going to be nice and spicy.
Spitting hot fire.
노크렛이에요. 노크렛. 놀랄 수밖에 없죠. 세상에 단 한 번도 나오지 않은 영웅이 있었어요. 저 있는지도 몰랐어요, 이 영웅.
상대가 생각지도 못하잖아요. 덩크렛이라는 캐릭터. 덩크렛만으로 시즌 1에는 84점도 찍었고 승률도 높고 그래서 한번 준비해봤더니 당황하더라고요. 성과를 내서 너무 좋습니다.
무실 세트. 단 한 번도 우리에게 호위 전장을 보여주지 않고 도대체 어디까지 승리를 거둘지 기대가 더 많이 됩니다.
이거 8강 맞죠? 저희는 뭐 16강이랑 별다른 게 없어가지고 당연히 ENVYUs가 올라올 걸 같아서 준비를 하고 있었는데 의외로 X6가 올라와서 무조건 4강 가겠다.
아프리카 팀이 방심을 하고 있을 거예요 아마. 저희가 3대0을 졌기 때문에. 그때 이후로 많은 걸 느껴갖고 전술 이런 것도 연습하기 시작했고 이전과는 다른 분위기라고 생각해요. 오히려 감사해요 저희는.
또 이번에도 3대빵 당하실 건데 뭐 또 감사하세요. 디바의 메카만 터트린다면 게임은 쉽게 가져갈 것 같아요. 최현 선수가 버스 뭐 다 태우잖아요. 혼자서 5명은 되게 승차감이 좋아 보이더라고요.
IDK 선수와 KJ가 제일 높은 거는 조운이 솔직히 좀 섞여 있는 것 같아요. 1대1로 붙으면 길리 선수가 훨씬 더 잘할 것 같아요. 이제 무빙도 좋고 낙사도 많이 시키는데 화면에 잘 안 잡히더라고요.
길리 선수 잘하죠. 배울 되게 잘 타요. 근데 그냥 병만 잘 탄다? 제가 루시로 시작한 지 2달이 됐는데 지금 세체로라는 토비님이랑도 비비고 있으니까 이제 다음 시즌에는 그때 노려보겠습니다. 저희 팀 걱정거리는 역시 고기? 매니저 형이 워낙 고기를 안 좋아가지고 저희는 꼭 승리를 해야지 고기를 먹을 수 있어요.
승리 씨의 오늘 또 고기 파티거든요. 예, 고기 파티.
지난번 승리도 고기 때문이었다.
항상 돼지만 먹고 있었는데 승자전 이기면 매니저 형 고기, 소고기로 해주시죠.
아직 한계치가 안 보여요, 성장 한계치가. 이름이 안 알려져 있는 뿐이지 충분히 훨씬 더 잘할 수 있거든요. 먼저 4강 가 있을 테니까 천천히 오세요.
Overwatch Apex Season 3, energized by Hot 6, quarterfinals. Today's matchup, X6-Gaming, Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Well, there you have it. Plenty of trash talk between the two. No Smite and IDK going back and forth, and you heard it from IDK. They're in it for the win. They're in it for the beef.
And you heard it for Afreeca Freecs, actually. They're looking for some gogi. Gogi is Korean for meat, and they just want to get some of that sweet meat. That's all they want. They want to eat some Achilles that's not getting it.
I mean, they've been winning plenty, so they've had their
Staying
fill of,
vegetarians for a while, I guess.
they've had their fill of pork, but now they want to upgrade. They want a nice rare steak after today's matches, and X6 want to snatch it out of them. Let's go ahead and meet the players.
Gilly.
세상의 타이밍! 아니 뭐 이렇게 동시다발적으로! 장례기 발사! 자 그러면
러시아 버블이
천천히
계속해서
수밖에 없어요.
Bebe.
못 먹었어요, 체리. 아, 체리 너무 좋은데요. 탱커 다 잡혔고. 와, 이거 또 빼앗아요. 차라리 그냥 든세 선수가 얻어맞다가
Chehyobin.
번시고 보셨어요. 패킹돼서.
자 죽으나 쫓아 이렇게 될 것인지 같이 지금 들어가요. 오 둘!
Godspeed.
너무 좋은 위치고요. 타이거이 붙여.
나이스.
Time Boy. No Smite. X6-Gaming.
There's the roster for X6. Up-and-comers, as I said, but they have been putting on some star-studded performances, especially Time Boy on that Tracer, so aptly named, has been popping off the three-man, the double pulse bombs coming through.
And Time Boy was one of the players that had hype before we finally saw this team. At first, the Apex Super Week, and then in Apex Season 3, occupying Jaehong when they played in an online tournament. X6 beat Lunatic-Hai in that tournament, and largely Time Boy drew the plaudits on the Tracer. Tracer now, of course, a cornerstone of the meta after being just an option back in the day. And Choyo Bin also on the Diva, without Diva Mickey pretty handedly in the series versus EnVyUs. Has a different style, very defensive Diva player, more about keeping his supports alive than the dive that we see from someone like Void, who we'll see in our second series.
So a lot to be excited about. Maybe we get that Junkrat yet again from No Smite. Always have to have a question mark over that one if he wants to try to surprise Afreeca Freecs Blue with that pick.
I mean, X6 just want to get to Escort. They are 3-0 on Escort, but Afreeca Freecs Blue, they're not playing Escort against anyone at Gilios. They never get that far.
Maybe they're really bad at it. We're not really sure. You never really know. But let's go ahead and see the roster from Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Afreeca Freecs Blue. IDK.
이러다가 리크라이가 메카가 밖에 이러면 아래아래 정리.
차적으로 무너집니다. 자, 그런데 아련.
벌써 용감? 모여있어.
그런데 용감으로 나와.
Arhan.
킬러 끊기. 굉장히 들어갔죠.
와, 지진카를
집중력이라든지 소수 규모로 남았을 때 그 포커싱 집중력까지 확실히 앞서고 있습니다.
Mano.
발동됐죠. 막아줄 수 있는 게 아무것도 없어요. 리크라이 선수 진짜 주무발에서 흔드는 거 엄청나죠.
Recry.
연방은 집으로. 그리고 루시드의 수면총은 오늘도 날카롭다.
Lucid.
타이볼 선수가 좋은 오히려 타이볼까지. 혹시 지금도 이거 빛이 나고 있고 동호회에서
확실히 빈것 지금 아프리카 프리카.
Donghyun. Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Feels pretty good when you're playing as when you're lucid and all of the POVs in your highlight reel are just people getting slept by you.
Lucid has been a superstar addition to a team that looked on the wane. Of course, made it to the final of Season 1 before him being smashed by Team EnVyUs in Apex Season 1. Looked on the wane in Season 2, Arhan having a down season. People were wondering, was he the one that needed to be out of the team for things to change? But just bringing in new support, empowering the supports, and empowering Arhan to get the dive on the Genji has been really big for Afreeca Freecs Blue, who are kind of an interesting team in that their Tracer game time as a team ever is around 20%. They're very much lower on the Tracer priority. Very much expect Recry on Soldier, Arhan on Genji. So it's a different kind of composition to what basically everyone else is running. 100% Tracer for most of these players, or at least one of the players on each team, is common.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about flexibility being the key to success in a game like Overwatch, but when you're just so damn good, maybe you don't have to change things up. And Afreeca Freecs Blue, that's been their run of form throughout this tournament so
the best
far.
teams definitely make you adapt to their style. They don't have to look at what you're doing. They do what they do so damn well, and that has been Afreeca Freecs Blue in Season 3.
Yep. We expected similar results from Rogue, but we won't talk about that anymore because our first battleground is going to be Lijiang Tower. We'll see who will take the lead in this series, start things off with a victory. And honestly, if X6 can even take a round off of this King of the Hill.
Yeah, will we ever learn if Afreeca Freecs Blue have a preferred map type in Season 3? Because they win all of them at Kilios.
They prefer every map.
They do. They're just happy to play more, get closer to that sweet beef.
All right, that's what they're in it for. We'll see if they can net some of that sweet, sweet beef here today, Papa Smithy. It's been a good run so far, 12-0. Let's see if they can make it 15 as we dive onto our first match. It's Lijiang Tower. There we go. The fans out to play here today as we enter onto night market for our first round of Lijiang Tower. And really just have to wonder, how many rounds are we going to see? Can we make it to the fabled 3 with Afreeca Freecs on the board?
You want to get started with a win. Even a single map, like you say, will be a movement forward for X6-Gaming. They want to get to payload. They do not want to go down in straight sets to Afreeca Freecs Blue like they did about a month ago. May 12th was when the teams faced. It has been a new patch since then. We are, just like last week, on this May 23rd patch, so the adjustment to Soldier, Orisa buffs. There is the chance for there to be different things, and X6 have also evolved their style in the last month.
They certainly have. You know, that's a very big key factor in why they're able to take down EnVyUs.
Small point here, Arhan played 100% game time in their last series against Meta Athena on Genji. Him jumping on Tracer is already a small adjustment.
Yep, just gonna go ahead and dash straight in here as time boy. Pulls out a little bit with Arhan, but goes low and has to back off. Some nice healing from the Lucio. As these teams just start posturing forward in front of the point, very deep leap in. Comes through from Mono, but he goes down. Godspeed, the double kill with the Helix Rockets, takes down Arhan as well. And now they get the pop on the Dongyan as he gets knocked out of the mech and will die. You can see Afreeca Freecs Blue just going to abandon this push, and a very strong start from X6-Gaming.
And I think everyone can see the style X6 showed against EnVyUs and here. They are waiting for the enemy to dive and then peeling for their supports and focusing the closest target, whether it's the D.Va mech, whether it's the Winston. They were not diving. First dive by Mono. Mono dies first, and so do Afreeca Freecs Blue's first attempt at a push.
Time boy waiting in the point, trying to win this 1v1 against Arhan. It might be a little bit of a stalemate for the moment as the rest of the squad for X6 just postures in front of the point, trying to stop Afreeca Freecs from piling in. They will be jumping in. Godspeed gets left on, pops that tac visor, but the D.Va is right there to block him out, but still looks up, flicks over, and finds Mono with the ultimate. They will pop Dongyan out of the mech yet again, going down. And no tanky frontline here for Afreeca Freecs Blue. Arhan getting picked off. This push will get staved off yet again by X6.
And just using a single ultimate there was pretty big for the side of X6. They will have the Transcendence, so will Lucid, and they're closing in on 6 ultimates of Afreeca Freecs Blue. Their strongest point as a team has been like Season 1 ult economy use. So judicious about only using a single ult, sometimes none, to flip points. They're going to have a lot of options, but how many will they invest?
See how long they can hold on to these Bebe getting left on. Will be safe, and actually will pop the Transcendence here to keep everybody alive. Self-destruct coming through from Dongyan, tosses that one out, and Godspeed actually, walks back in a second too early. Explosion does clip him, and now without the Soldier, this could be the opening here for Afreeca Freecs Blue. Sound barrier comes down as they try to push further away from the spawn. Find a pick onto Chohyobin, lose Lucid, but will be firing back, find Time Boy. So decent opening as they start pushing their way in onto the point, trying to find this cap as Bebe and Gilly go down. They should be able to have this one in their grasp.
Yeah, opening picks are so important in flipping points. Godspeed, well, just a solo mistake, an unforced error. Falls down a second time, needed to regroup with his team, so that one isn't as consequential. Afreeca Freecs Blue had to use everything to flip the point. Sure, they have a pulse bomb now, but they only have sub 40% on their support ultimates. So the only happy thing you can say for X6 is at least they are in many ways closer to ultimates. They don't necessarily have the tools either themselves right now.
86% accrued for them after that flip came through. So still a lot of time to work with here for X6. See how long Afreeca Freecs can hold on to this one. All the way up to 100% be quite nice for this squad. See Mono going low, leaps back in towards the point. Donghan, or Chohyobin, rather going to be tossing out that
Lucid.
mech. Yeah, does find Lucid, kills him. Nice pickoffs coming through as Recry and IDK go down, and this could very well be the recap here for X6.
Yeah, opening up with 2 supports dead, 3 for 1, now 4. So this is going to be, you'd have to imagine, the flip over, but Afreeca Freecs Blue don't have much time.
All right, well, that was a bit of a botch there by Time Boy.
Zoning pull.
Yeah, you know, just trying to keep the D.Va away. Pulse Bomb a day keeps the D.Va away, so tosses that one out. They will go down, and the recap comes through.
You and I go to very different doctors, by the way.
Dr. D.Va.
Dr. D.Va.
Yeah, waiting for that skin, believe
She's
it.
quite young. Did she have time to finish that degree? I want to see her credentials.
She was smart enough to build a mech, so she's got to be pretty intelligent. But Mono coming in, trying to delay as we go into overtime, will fall down right off the bat. Now Dongyan piling in, Discord Orb comes through. Throws down that defense matrix.
Draws the Transcendence from X6.
Yeah, but the Transcendence comes down to Recry. This tac visor isn't getting much ground. Answering Transcendence there from Lucid, trying to keep the team alive. As the sound barrier comes through from IDK, they just try to pile in, try to stay alive, but Lucid will get picked off. And it seems like this might be the fight. 1 for X6, Pulse Bomb down by Time Boy. Not gonna find anything, but they're still ripping right through them. Primal Rage from Mono here. Delay as long as possible, gets the smack off on Time Boy, but has the recall. get himself back in onto the point, as it's just an all-out brawl. Pulse Bomb onto Nosemind will actually clip onto Timeboy, taking him down as they still keep delaying. Self-destruct thrown in, Buckle will go away as Donghyun backs back out. For now, is on the point, is getting the cap, but X6 with the respawns are coming through.
Yeah, heroic delay here by Freecs Blue. It's been such a long engagement. Still going on. It's the next round of respawns. Vitus continues.
Donghyun still staying alive somehow, some way. Skirting around the edges of the fight, now pushing straight into the face of Godspeed.
In mini diva form.
Forced the kill in the baby diva form, now duking it out with Chohyun, can't quite finish him off before he makes it into the mech. They'll be able to pop it very swiftly after, as Donghyun gets back in, and Freecs Blue, it seems like maybe they've delayed this long enough. Nosemind in here, all on his lonesome, will die, and the recap comes in overtime.
What a heroic contest. Donghyun coming in at the last second to just contest a second time after Mono gave Opa his life, and they used so many tools, X6, to keep it, that Freecs Blue and all the pandemonium have built up very large ult economy percentages on basically their whole team short of the Primal Rage. There's no guarantee that X6 will even pick up this first map.
Yeah, Timeboy going low, has to dash back out, keeps himself alive, and has that Pulse Bomb ready to go. You see Arhan's coming through, not going to find him.
Down.
Recry pops the Tac Visor, takes out Timeboy.
Two ultimates.
They maintain control, so yeah, using a couple, but now encroaching on 90% here is Freecs Blue.
Yeah,
goes down.
Transcendent's going to be the big ultimate. It might be enough to build up the sound barrier from Gilly. They get one attempt here, X6, with a large bank of ultimates. But they need to shake off what would have been a frustrating attempt at closing the map just about 30 seconds ago.
Team trying to keep tabs here on the
Timeboy's actually caught.
He gets picked off. The Helix Rockets just take him out. Now Godspeed popping that Tac Visor, going to try to find some kills, but the sound barrier comes through
No
from
picks
Freecs Blue. They push forward with the Transcendent, self-destruct up in the air. No bubble, and Godspeed will go down yet again as Donghyun picks up the kill into overtime as the sound barrier comes through for X6, but Bebe falls right off the bat. The boop, killing him, knocking him off the map. Nosemind going down. Hillman almost out of the Mac. Could be very dangerous here for X6, who desperately need the retake. Timeboy dashing around as best as possible, but doesn't have the recall available. Self-destruct down to zone, and Freecs Blue, despite the strong start from X6, will take Night Market.
That was a really memorable Night Market. Just a single round of of control. Goes both ways. We thought X6 had done it when Mono gave up his life, but Donghyun flying through the window allowed there to be, what, a minute and a half contest as Freecs Blue didn't have ults. Neither side really did. Single ones being invested by X6 to hold the point. Can't hold it. We see Freecs Blue build up their ultimates during that long fight and then use them better. Godspeed twice being caught by the Diva Bomb. First time, pretty unacceptable, was just a mistake. The second time, trying to contest the points. We get a replay of Donghyun's heroics as just the baby Diva soldier.
That's exactly how I was going to put it. Just pushing straight into the face.
Pilot Diva just being damn devastating here.
I mean, she was more of a soldier than the soldier she just killed, so it was very good from Donghyun. But now we move over to Control Center. See if the Freecs can close this out with a 2-0 to claim Lijiang for themselves and start the series off with a win. Have not suffered one yet, but Donghyun, that hook comes through. He's going to get popped out of the mech, but Godspeed has already been taken down from Arhan, who is swapped over to that Genji.
Yeah, the front line is completely down here from the side of X6, so it's probably going to be a Freecs Blue with the first contest. Arhan jumps on the Genji for the first time, chases down Gilly as well on the Lucia. So some adjustments in team comp. X6 really did see the Genji coming with the McCree start by Godspeed. He's back on soldier duty. They're looking for double hit scan to try to take Arhan down before he can pop that first Dragon Blade.
It's going to be difficult because he's already at 92% off that first push.
You get one chance, Kilios.
He's doing some serious work, and they're a ways away from a Transcendence.
But the big problem also is it's going to have to be eco pushes for a while because Godspeed is going to be way behind in Tac Visor timings, and just single ultimates from Freecs Blue might be able to hold it. It feels weird to condemn them to this, but maybe X6-Gaming are already looking at an 80 to 99% contest when they actually have a war chest of ultimates to stand up to Freecs Blue.
Well, Bebe's getting closer to that 82%, so should have a Transcendence by the time the all-in comes in. As I say that, the Dragon Blade will come out. Already finds Bebe, dashes through, looking for a little bit more. Arhan does go low, has to peel back, but helps his team scoop up 3 kills, just stopping out X6 yet again.
And in the Freecs Blue style, it's always one ultimate. They don't need Nano Visors, just the Dragon Blade to stop the Bebe on the side of the Zenyatta, picking up ult percentage. The support still approaching their first ults. Transcendence on both sides, but Tac Visor for Recry. You bait that Transcendence, Recry will do the rest.
Yeah. rip right through him. Sound Barrier on the way from Gilly will help mitigate that damage. You can see the leap in coming through immediately from Nosebite. Tac Visor does get popped. The Snowcry just fires straight into the barrier. Transcendence does come through as they try to get this recap. About 50% on that one, and Recry being threatened in the back line will go down. Now God's doing attack. Yeah, Tac Visor of his own, just firing away. As that Sound Barrier does come down, but 2 members already dead on the side of Freecs Blue. Not going to be profiting off of this one, and Godsby, relatively healthy as he will be duking it out here with the Winston, kills himself in the end. I believe with the Helix Rockets, just point blank, a bit too much damage. But the cap has not come through. It's now at 92% here for Freecs.
And they have a Diva advantage as well. Dongyun sitting on the point. Primal Rage finally popped by Mono.
Dead. Gilly and Time Point both go down. Mono taking him out. No Spite goes down. The delay tactics here from X6 being exhausted.
They're not going to get there.
Kyobin, can he make it in time? It's not going to happen. And Afreeca Freecs, despite how close it was on Night Market, just completely shatter X6.
Lucky number 13 for Afreeca Freecs Blue. They continue this unprecedented run that is undefeated still. 1 map into the winners bracket final of the round of 8. Really good stuff from them. The fact that they could actually pick up Night Market was insane with that last second contest. But when they win the first salvo after losing the first salvo on Night Market, it's back to the Afreeca Freecs Blue we've seen in previous maps. Basically, ult economy on point. Single ult to hold a push. Great target selection, taking down the supports. No peel coming through that time for Choyobin on the backline meant the support ultimates were late. The first real contest at 85% after the late swap from Godsby to Soldier. And we're already going to see the timeout or the tactical pause initiated because X6 need to regroup, and understandably, they might actually need a talking to from their coach.
I think they really do. I mean, it was so close on Night Market and then completely get shattered on Command Center. Is that just how their mentality is going to be after that first map?
I mean, you can feel it, right? Even us as casters watching this, you're like, man, you must feel really bad to not be able to close out Night Market and kind of predictably control center, lose one fight, lose the map, and lose that particular set there for the side of X6-Gaming. So they will continue to consider their options. They do not have a substitute player, so they will not be adjusting lineup.
They were almost halfway there to giving Afreeca Freecs Blue their first map loss.
We have to kind of look at comical little intervals on be creative because Afreeca Freecs Blue have been so dominant. And it's cool that it was a team that people said, okay, Lucid's good. They're changing things up. They needed to change things up. Support's straight upgrade. But they still had their question marks. And for them to be this good lets you know that their practice and also the support staff had the right trust in the right players. Things have gone swimmingly for Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Yeah, maybe it really is just the motivation of getting some meat at the end of the day, being able to actually go out to Korean barbecue. Maybe that's what has just surged Afreeca Freecs' skill set forward.
Let me tell you, the first prize pool is definitely going to help you with buying as much Gogi as you want. Achilles, well, I mean, when it comes to map selection, just remember we are moving to hybrid for our second map. Kings Row, that's 2-0 for Afreeca Freecs Blue. Obviously, they have won at every opportunity, but you want to take them away from ultimate comfort, which on hybrid this season has been Kings Row.
Yeah. It's also hard to identify their comfort because they haven't been in a position where they picked their own map.
That's true. But I mean, all you can do is say, well, let's not go with it best.
Yeah.
It's kind of all you can do when a team is 13-0. The historical data points don't really count for much. Does Season 2 really apply to Season 3 when the meta has changed, the lineup has changed? Clearly, the identity and communication has changed. Afreeca Freecs Blue in some ways are the same. Again, ult economy use, target selection, Season 1 Afreeca Freecs buzzwords for casters still very much apply to Season 3. But everything else has wholesale change.
You know, we're still getting set up for the funniest timeline that we could ever have here, Bob.
What's the funniest timeline?
Undefeated all the way into the final. Afreeca Freecs Blue somehow EnVyUs. They make their way out of the losers bracket. They make their way into the semifinal. They win their way into the final, go up against Afreeca Freecs, and then 4-0 them again.
You know, I'd also accept a kind of counter offer, which is Afreeca Freecs Blue undefeated 3 maps into the final, reverse sweep. That would also be sweet.
Okay, actually,
or maybe they could just win undefeated. That'd be cool too. I actually have no pony in this race. I'm happy for the best team to win, and the best team this season has been Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Yeah, they've definitely set that stage for themselves. There's a couple seconds remaining here on the tactical pause. Coach is already out of the booth, so X6, hopefully they get a nice, good talking to. Not a stern one necessarily, but one to remotivate them, get their minds back on track.
Escort, Assault, there will be strong preferences, I predict, for the side of X6, but hybrid has kind of been up and down for them. They don't necessarily have a percentage map. So avoiding King's Road, maybe that's a good idea. Otherwise, it'll be very interesting to see what the decision is by X6-Gaming when it comes to map choice. We will find out now.
So escort selection will be Eichenwalde.
Interesting. Gonna open up onto Assault. Don't necessarily have creative hero calls for this one. Maybe Godspeed will jump back on the Genji. Look for a dive there. Not a pharmacy team. Made a little bit of it, but don't necessarily see it as a staple. Freecs Blue, they take all comers. They're happy to jump onto Eichenwalde.
Doesn't matter what map, what battleground it is, Freecs Blue is always ready to brawl. Uphill battle already set here for X6-Gaming. It was an uphill battle when they showed up at the studio today, but now already down a map. Freecs Blue potentially moving to match point after Eichenwalde if they can take it away.
Freecs Blue have really taken the mantle of champions elect. They basically say, hey, we're the favorites. You come and contest us. We're ready for all challenges.
Well, we're ready to get it as we load up for our second map. Like I said, let's see if our Freecs Blue can make it match point as we move over to Eichenwalde.
Battle has continued, but this time it's with the fan chat.
Yeah, now there's a war on the screen and in the audience. As always. No Lunatic-Hai fans here today, but they still are matching that custom.
X6-Gaming going to be opening up their defense. You see creative hero choices, and after that attack on Dorado, you're never sure what will actually be in. We've seen protect the Torbjorn strategies before, so outside chance that Choyobin will be actually sticking with this pick, but could also change, of course.
Time Boy stick with the Mei. Could be interesting. I mean, classic strat here on Eichenwalde, walking up to the first choke point, just, walling off 1-2 members, isolate them from the rest of their team, and pick them off as they come in.
And then also, let's say it works. You stick the landing, you get ultimates, then you have Molten Core and Blizzard, which solo usually repel pushes. So this is very much a, if things start well, they really should end well strategy from X6-Gaming. We've seen variants of this. Kongdoo Panthera ran Reinhardt to also be there for the double shielding. Risa buffs have come through, only 8 seconds on that protected barrier. Gonna be difficult without Pharah to find creative ways to actually contest this Torbjorn turret.
Well, looks like we're gonna get a bit of a treat here as Recry pops up, trying to spot out.
Doesn't see anything.
Yeah, won't be able to spot anything. We'll see what he swaps over to. Gonna be the Soldier here.
No surprise there. That's most played. 82% game time on the Soldier. Arhan, though.
Yeah, gonna be on the attack Sombra right off the bat.
And will be useful and potentially
have to get the hack first.
Getting things going. They now have plenty of information about the Torbjorn.
But I don't think they've seen Time Boy.
Look at Gilly. He's already at 73% charge.
Good lord, yeah, he's just firing away. Gilly's gonna have that Molten Core so quickly. Almost has it as fast as the EMP from Sombra.
And that's something. That's a story right there.
Damn impressive.
That's the barrier used. They also have the projected barrier used. Arhan has ultimate. This can sometimes be a mind game. Here's the ult.
On the backside, he goes ahead, throws down that EMP right off the bat.
Molten Core used as well.
Come down, and Molten Core, as you say, does get popped. Arhan going low. Retreats to pick up a health pack, and IDK will get picked off here by Gilly, but Bebe and Choyobin have both fallen on the side of X6-Gaming, so maybe this comp not playing out the way that they want it to. Donghyun will get popped, as does Godspeed. Recry now has the high ground. Will drop down, trying to win this duel against Time Boy. Almost has the freeze, but here comes Get tossed out, not going to find anything from Hyobin. Now Donghyun trying his own luck. Will find two.
Double.
Bebe and Time Boy
And
both
Gosby dies as well.
go down. Gosby dies off screen,
That's
falling
four
off the
in a
map.
row.
No Smite dead. Just two remaining. Hyobin gonna get popped out of the mech as Gilly goes low. Should just about be finished off if they can just track down that pesky Lucio. Finally get it. And pretty much unhindered this entire time. The payload just...
The one-time X again find a defensive position, just thwarted completely. Lovely use of the self-destruct from Donghyun. We're going to see a last-second contest. That's all X6 can hope for. They have two delay tools, though.
Well, it's going to be Transcendence in the attack visor out here from Recry, trying to get through this monkey. No Smite going low, does have the Primal Rage available for him. He's going to pop it and try to buy some time off this clock for X6-Gaming. Hyobin popped out of the mech. Has not gone down, but No Smite will finally kill Recry.
1 for 1 in the end, though.
Yeah, they do exchange, and Donghyun gets another self-destruct kill, finds the enemy Diva, takes him out. Now Arhan with the Dragon Blade, dashing through, just keeping everybody relegated back towards the spawns, and the payload's about to connect. Gilly dropping down off the high ground, just trying to contest this as long as possible. Will go down by Mono, just zapping him to death. Hyobin piling in, No Smite as well, but they're just getting picked off one by one. And it seems like it's just a matter of seconds before this payload is completed.
Yeah, they're just playing so smart on the payload. Just one more member there. It's going to
Good
push
God.
now. That's going to be it. 3-minute time bank left for Afreeca Freecs Blue. Sure, Eichenwalde was made easier. The doors stay open, but the accelerator never stopped going. This payload was bumping from the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue and X6-Gaming. You see the cost that you get when you invest in heroes that are only suitable for point A, because the moment that their strategy failed, swap, 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 there's an ultimate advantage because the swaps don't need to come in as much from the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue. Sure, they jumped on Genji, but everything else stayed the same. Ultimate disadvantage, they lost the entire Streets phase, and the Castle phase, they couldn't claw it back there either.
I mean, I haven't looked at it myself, but I expect that there's at least one comment on the competitive Overwatch thread that says EnVyUs died for this.
I mean, EnVyUs avoided playing Afreeca Freecs Blue.
I mean, hey, that's a win. Sort of. A win with a loss, you know.
You want to get out of this group, Afreeca Freecs Blue are being the team they've been touted to be now already at going to be basically hitting on the door of being 14-0. Not yet. We still have to give X6-Gaming a push, but emulating what we saw from Afreeca Freecs Blue, best of luck. So on the defense here, on the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue, much more standard. No Torbjorn Orisa hijinks this time.
It's a shame that the Torbjorn got that Molten Core faster than we've ever seen, and then just did nothing.
And it wasn't just the Sombra. The Sombra ult was critical, but the Sombra ult was at the same time as they dived in, took down Bebe on the Ana. Target selection again. I feel like I'm going to be a sound... Very much a sound box here. Basically, press one button, you'll hear ult economy, press another button, you're going to say target selection, because of Afreeca Freecs Blue, they just do it so well. The soundboard is real.
And then the third one's Eco Push.
Yes, I'll say that as well. No dry pushes here, we're wet. Damn wet. Don't think about that too much.
I was gonna have something to follow up, but I decided to just let it go. So we'll just go ahead and focus on X6, moving out with the attack. Bebe swapping over to the Sombra, trying to do his best Arhan impersonation. We'll be pushing forward, looking for somebody to just start building ulti alpha.
Or to start contesting a more advanced health pack to deny resources away from the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Hasn't gotten in much of a position for that yet. Time Boy looking for an angle to get in, working towards that pulse bomb.
Very flexible comp. The dive does start with Simano jumping in.
Easily being Discord Orbs thrown down onto him, but he's still being topped up. Will not fall, so really great healing coming through from the side of Afreeca Freecs. Time Boy has to force the recall, and X6 will just peel back. We get Arhan though.
Arhan taken, but of course it's the Tracer, and we'll have short respawn. Wasn't much of an eco push for Afreeca Freecs Blue, as it was mostly about... wasn't much of an eco push for the side of X6-Gaming. Some ult charge, but nothing more than that. Testing the point again here.
For a little bit more, nearly have that first tick. Bebe has to jump back, has the MP ready to go, sprinting in. Should be looking for it here.
There it
throw
is.
it down. Not sure how many members that it clipped, but looks like Donghyun was one of them. The attack visor comes out from Gosby, finds Arhan, and Time Boy dashing around, gets rid of that baby Diva. So it seems like the cap will be coming through here for X6. So a bit delayed compared to Afreeca Freecs on the attack, but still a lot of time to work with. 5 minutes to get them through the Streets phase and over the bridge.
And Attack Sombra seems to have been the tonic to take point A of Eichenwalde 2 games in a row. But you notice the difference. Afreeca Freecs Blue, because they went for this balance comp that can contest the high ground, drop in and dive, they don't actually need to make adjustments to their defense, and they will have ultimates. And the economy is there to be able to contest the cart more than X6-Gaming was able to on the defense.
Time Boy's being a very sneaky tracer. Can he get the massive pulse bomb? Throws it down, doesn't find anybody to stick. Will just take a little bit off the D.Va Mech. And now he has to deal with Arhan, who does go low, dashes over into the low ground, and will fall in the end. Time Boy coming out on top of that one, but Godspeed's been picked off screen as is Time Boy, as IDK does find him.
Ultimate was used from Lucid there onto the Winston, now popping the Primal Rage to deal with the last of the Sombra.
Gets a smackdown into the Bebe, just trying to keep them off this cart, drain that clock as much as humanly possible.
Arhan, again, because he'll have to drop down a lot, jumps onto his favorite Genji over the Tracer. And guess what? He has plenty of latitude to build ult percentage because Recry, Donghyun, IDK all have ult, so there's plenty of time to be bought with the zoning tools available to Freecs Blue.
Up on the high ground right now is Recry. Pops attack visor, firing away, but the sound barrier is there to eat up a lot of the damage. Big heal deny comes through, and the Helix Rockets will find Gilly. Well sniped out, now just firing into No Spite, building up towards another one as he just leaps around, tries to get that payload moving yet again for X6-Gaming. Recry will be contested, the barrier comes down just to mitigate the damage output in onto No Spite, but he's still dangerously low, could very well fall. Loop comes down as Recry falls off the high ground. Just trying to get some damage in where he can, but for the most part, X6 have been stopped.
But the important factor there is exactly that the payload did not move at any point. I think he comes back in with the sound barrier.
Throws this one down as they still try to posture forward. Recry gets taken out this time around, and Bebe actually finds Mono. This could be some crucial openings here for X6 to work their way over towards the bridge. Still have 3 minutes on the clock, so definitely within the realm of possibility for them to get the completion, but all the way to point C is where things get very difficult.
Yeah, disengaged by Freecs, but they're looking for the last second test. Something like an EMP might stop that, though. Here is Bebe, he's spotted, has to jump back.
Tries to get the hack off, but can't quite find it. Does get one in onto Mono. Dragon Blade coming
Nano
out here
Blade.
from Arhan. Yeah, Nano Boost on top of it. He slices his way right through that Scientist. No Spike goes down.
Both the tanks.
Yeoman as well. The front line gone from X6, and yet again, single ultimate investment picks up Bebe right at the end for good measure.
Hey, just because we
Blue
call
stop
it Nano Blade, it's still 2 ultimates.
That's
Kilios. It feels like one, especially when you're on the receiving end, but Recry at the same time almost has his tack visor. They have other delay tactics, and hey, worst comes to worst, they might actually push through the castle doors, but the timer, it keeps going down, and the hopes for X6-Gaming get more and more margin.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much if they can complete this, they'll be starting with as much time as a Freecs Blue have remaining in the bank. So definitely a rough spot to be in. But need that completion to deny the match point to tie up this series, actually make it a series. EMP does come through here. Recry has the attack visor available, cannot pop it, but he's still just perfectly fine. Sit up here on this high ground, now dropping down, chasing it onto Time Boy, takes him down. D.Va comes forward, should get popped out of the mech, will actually throw that self-destruct at the last second as Godspeed goes down. Arhan dashes through, stops Yeobin from re-entering the mech. And that is going to buy so much more time here for Freecs on the defense.
They don't need to count very high to know how many ultimates they used. There was just the single coming through from Recry. Swapped attack visors. Able to use it, and that was with Mono going down first as he died during the EMP. Couldn't even use Primal Rage. They desperately wanted to invest in, but hey, his team did him a favor. Won the fight even without the Winston. And this is always the case. They don't often have both DPS ults, but they never seem to need both of them.
Yeah, now it's a minute remaining. Just the pulse bomb available here for Time Boy, so not a lot to work with for X6. Arhan going in, Dragon Blade drawn out yet again, finds Bebe. Can he get more? Everybody's clumped up, and he will die in the end to Gilly with the boop, but still several more kills coming through for Freecs Blue. A 3-for-1 in exchange, looking for more as Time Boy goes low. And Yeobin, well, he will be able to retreat safely, but it was basically just a bit of mercy being shown by Mono.
I love the positioning. Even though Arhan went super deep, was on 42 HP for the most of it, was inevitably going to die. Recry at the same time, parked on the bridge. No one's able to close him down. The side of X6-Gaming, Yeobin's basically focusing on shutting down the Genji solo. At the same time, Recry free hitting. They win that engagement, and now it needs to be done in overtime if they're going to actually push to this castle.
Time to pile through here. Self-destruct comes through from Donghyun. Can he find anything? Yes, he can. Gets rid of Bebe, and Gilly has already gone down. Both supports from X6 being sniped out right off the bat. Yeobin trying to contest with the soldier, but he's going to get popped out of the back. Can he come up with a kill? The answer is going to be no, because there's another attack visor there for Recry. Will get taken down by Godspeed on the flank, but Godspeed, the only one there to tag the payload, will go down. Gilly desperately tries to make it in time, but Freecs Blue come up with a victory on Eichenwalde, and they are now at match point.
14-0, finally observed. Super good stuff from Freecs Blue, even adapting, which is not something they've had to do very much. They've been the trendsetters, adapting to the static defense. Little taunt there coming through from Recry to the cameras. Lots to smile about for Freecs Blue, but they just do it all so clean. That's the thing you take away is we've had pandemonium, we've had close series that have gone to overtime. Freecs Blue never seem to need extra time because everything is done by the book, and it's the book they're writing themselves.
Poised to go ahead and close this out 15-0 is Freecs Blue. One more map win to get the repeat 3-0 over top of X6-Gaming like they suffered during the group stage. And you can see their faces, they're at a bit of a loss. No sub to buy them more time.
I think they're going to have to jump on their favorite map. I think they need to jump on Temple of Anubis after the break. Try to go for the Talon comp once more. It worked for them last time out. It's been a winning one for them. It didn't work against this team, you'll remember. But you're running out of opportunities here, Achilles.
All right, maybe it's time to run it down left, Papa Smithy. We'll see if that's going to be the selection, and maybe they'll surprise us with something a bit different, perhaps the Volskaya or the Hanamuras of the world. We'll see what they want to pull out, but for now, we will be going to a quick break. When we return, we'll see if Freecs close out this first match with a 3-0.
언제 어디서나 깔끔하고 상쾌하게.
이런 게 트래비 스타일.
Stylish sparkling water. 트래비.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Afreeca Freecs Blue have been doing dirty things to X6-Gaming in these first two maps. It is so very close on Night Market, but after that, the thread just started unraveling.
It's only about 35 days ago that they 3-0'd them, and Achilles looking more and more like it could be 6-0 over the team of X6-Gaming for Afreeca Freecs Blue. We are already 2-0 up, and now you have the choice of perhaps our last map type. We wondered if X6 could at least push Afreeca Freecs Blue to Escort, which has been kind to the side of X6, but looking unlikely. Avoiding Hanamura is probably smart. Already 2-0 this season on the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue, but increasingly, I don't think they care.
It doesn't really matter. Maybe it's, maybe you need to...
Oh, the adjustment of the glasses. Great from Recry.
He's having some fun. Maybe you need to surprise them by picking their best map. Maybe that'll offset Afreeca Freecs. I don't know. You gotta try something crazy here, but very likely to see Temple of Anubis yet again. But actually, okay, big will surprise.
Well, going to where they're weak, haven't been able to find that, so go to somewhere you feel you are strong. They will avoid Temple of Anubis that has actually been 3 out of the 4 maps for Assault that have been played this season by X6-Gaming, so they're trying something new. We'll see if they have a strategy. The Talon strategy was debuted by X6 into Apex, coming from the Challenger Series. They're going to need to debut something else, because I feel like if you go on standard, Afreeca Freecs Blue go down 3-0 wins.
And to clarify the Talon strategy, for those of you who might be new.
Sombra Reaper, baby.
Yeah, run the Sombra Reaper, drop the EMP, drop that Death Blossom, just kill everybody.
Yep, that is the Prophet duo. Might be difficult on Hanamura to pull it off as easily as you can on Temple of Anubis, but you got to find something, Achilles.
We'll see if X6 can piece something together, if they can pick up a single map and finally give Afreeca Freecs Blue a loss, or if they're just going to close this out, move on to the semifinals, 15-0. Let's go ahead, load up for Hanamura.
I get it.
Fans still hanging in there on the side of X6-Gaming, but might not have too much more to cheer for after Hanamura.
And the only feel-good moment you can kind of remember in this series for the side of X6-Gaming was the opening salvo on the Night Market map on Lijiang Tower, where they hung back, Mono jumped in, died first, and it was a very good defensive play.
That's neat. He made an Illidan shirt.
He did.
And now he's hitting it.
As you do.
All right, there you go, Blizzard. Got a new item for your store.
Recry continues to basically just stick with the soldier and working out just fine for the side of Freecs Blue, who very often go with these tracerless comps, which are something different compared to a lot of other teams. They don't have a primary tracer player. Highest is surprisingly Donghyun, their D.Va player, who's at 24% when he switches over from the side of D.Va, but they just look so comfortable. Starting on defense here, very, very standard. You could basically piece together this Freecs Blue lineup on these heroes every time, and they don't need to adapt to anything because they're setting the meta themselves.
Yep. Well, no surprise here. Arhan going to be starting things off on defense with this Genji.
And X6-Gaming don't trust in the dive. Godsby once again going to be jumping on the soldier. Going to be a lot about ult economy here, given that there's a lot in common between these comps.
Timeboy goes into the back, works his way around the flank and onto the high ground. Just hunting for some of that sweet, sweet ult percentage.
And finding Ana. Lucid is one of the people you want to shut down. No Zenyatta on the side of Freecs Blue, so a Zenyatta Transcendence advantage would be big, because this is a big fight.
Yeah, meanwhile, behind the point of all places, we're going to have a bit of a fight break out as Timeboy comes into the back line. Godsby does get booped off to death. Timeboy going low, has to force out the recall, and Arhan is straight on top of him right away. They do trade one in onto Mono. Recry goes down. Couple picks here for X6-Gaming. Decent little start if they can just get onto the point and get this rolling. Transfer this at least into a single tick. They're dashing around. Lucid falls. IDK still alive. And Bebe will go down. X6 still getting stopped out a little bit. Dragonblade comes through Arhan, but he's going to die mid-dash.
Yeah,
No
desperation.
him to death.
Desperation there from Arhan because the members have started to go down, so the percentage ticks up. There's going to be a trickle from a Freecs Blue because the respawns are going to take a while to get back here.
Yeah, they just want to buy as much time here. IDK popping up that heal, amplifying things up and keeping Mono alive, at least for the moment. He goes dangerously low, will die as Nosebite pops the Primal Rage and takes him out back in onto the point, trying to get the boop off onto the Lucio. And this might just be the abandon here from a Freecs.
Yeah, it looks like it was close, but where the position? Yeah, they're going to try last second
Sound
death.
barrier comes through, Transcendence matched here by X6, and Recry dies right off the bat. So already a good start for X6-Gaming. Donghyun tossing out that self-destruct, looking for a pick, won't find it, zones him off the point for a second or two. Denies that second tick from coming through, but he's got to get himself out to safety as they start chasing in. Just firing shot after shot into the back of Choi Hyobin, but still not going to be gaining much, but they still maintain control of the point for now.
And they also provoke some ultimates to be used by Godspeed to start off with the tack visor. There's the answering tack visor.
Cap almost comes through. Arhan, he's going to get the nano boost, comes through with the Dragon Blade, swiping away, trying to get the kill in on the Nosebite, finds it for the Quadra kill, getting rid of Timeboy, and just like that, Freecs just do it yet again. We saw it on Night Market, now we see it on Hanamura. Arhan pops off on the Genji and just destroys the ranks of X6.
And look
Two
at
with one swipe.
Yeah, the target selection, lovely onto Recry and also the Lucia at the same time. Can jump through. So much invested by X6-Gaming on their last attack. They have no ultimates and suddenly just a minute 20 time bank.
93.6% was what was attained there by X6-Gaming, but now in danger of being full health. Arhan dangerously low up on that high ground. Seeks to get himself out to safety. Looks like he can do just that. Will heal up. Timeboy goes in, finds the stick. Gets rid of Recry. That's just one, and now Arhan looking to give him a hard time. Down to 38. Can he finish him off? Medkit almost comes up, but the swipe will take him down. In the meantime, the cap starts coming through for the rest of X6-Gaming as they pile in on top of the point. Don't have any defensive ultimates at the moment, and Arhan is just playing forward into the front lines, into Baby's face, but he just takes him out.
Yeah, two down, and they don't have a lot of time to play with. The respawn's going to take a long, long time, relatively. Mono super low, gets back on.
Oh, but he dies mid-flight. Godspeed is able to take him down as X6 desperately wants this cap.
And they desperately also, Achilles, don't want to use either of these support ultimates. Want them for a snowball cap on point B. We'll keep them. We'll have a nice war chest. They got one really good go. If they can get it on the first capture here, that would be massive. Otherwise, we know about how much you can be frustrated on Hanamura point B.
Timeboy.
Actually dash backwards there.
Playing with our emotions. There we go. Makes it over safely. Doesn't have a pulse bomb, but this is going to be the all-in here from several sides as the Nano Boost actually comes down in onto Mono. Nosebite's going to be the first one to get taken out as Arhan dashes his way to a second kill, taking out Timeboy. Mono still very healthy, has a Primal Rage to keep himself alive as well as Arhan has already built up another Dragon Blade. Bebe under siege, will go down now. Going to be looking for Godspeed, a couple more hits. Will finish him off, and that first push from X6 isn't going to find anything.
Yeah, and all they needed was the nano boost onto the monkey. Mono running around, had Primal Rage to start, but that was the only tool they wanted to invest because they would then be able to build it up easily if they were able to win the fight. They always wait and decide, okay, we've used something. They're basically scientists. They only ever have one independent variable. Throw out the first ult and reassess. The first ult got them the first 2 kills. Point B, impossible to take in a 4v6 scenario. X6-Gaming have 4 ultimates of their own. That's very soon going to be 5 on the side of Freecs Blue.
Yeah, Arhan yet again going onto the high ground, just trying to wreak havoc and just take out Godsby. He does just that, as 2 other members have already died. Hyobin jumping off the side of the map just to get the reset. That'll be the team kill coming through, and Freecs Blue building their way up towards another nano boost. Lucid's at 70% just about.
And you remember how Freecs Blue, sorry, how X6-Gaming beat Team EnVyUs, and a lot of it was playing around their supports. Basically, we saw a lot of Donghyun peeling for, sorry, a lot of Choi Hyobin peeling for Gilly and Bebe, and that was super effective in that series. But the opening frags, or the opening kills in this particular series, have often been onto the DPS members of X6-Gaming. Timeboy has been taken out first, usually a big thorn in the side of others. Recry dies first this time, maybe for X6, this is the time.
Gonna be looking for it, the sound barrier comes down, but that's the Dragon Blade out from Arhan, swiping away, gets rid of Godspeed right off the bat. Self-destruct comes through, not gonna find a single target. The Transcendence is used here by Bebe, trying to keep everybody topped up on the point. Will expire, Nano Boost now thrown out. Arhan goes down off screen, but Recry with the high ground gets rid of the enemies and Yada. And this could just be yet another cork pushed right into X6's push.
Yeah, Recry just had so much time on the high ground that usually, especially in previous seasons, teams spent all their time contesting. Never contested Recry. He free hits. More tools and time are wasted from the side of X6-Gaming. Recry doesn't need attack visor to make them pay.
Still a ways away, though, is a Freecs Blue from these defensive ultimates. Ready K using the sound barrier, Lucid using the nano boost there.
Hyobin jumps onto the Roadhog now, so they're going to try something different, looking for an initial pick. Usually have to mix up your strategy on point B if you don't get that snowball capture.
He wants to take out Arhan right off the bat. If you can find him or one of the supports, it'd be so crucial for X6 actually shoving in onto this point. Now, wrap around back onto the high ground yet again.
This time they contest it, so that we will not see Recry opening up for free here.
Arhan trying to work his way back up there, but has to pop the deflect and keep himself safe. X6 have a couple ultimates to use here. Timeboy, if he can find a big opening with that pulse bomb, that would be the go button here for X6.
Priority to build up the Nano Blade, neither available for the side of Freecs Blue. That's why they're not hard committing. They want that in their war chest.
Yeah, only 65%. Mono goes low, has to leap out. Hook comes down, and actually Mono off screen will die. Timeboy is able to chase him down, takes him out. Now Donghyun
front line completely gone.
Bebe has fallen though. So very crucial support has been taken out, but Godsby with that attack visor gets rid of the baby demon. Recry has died from the primal rage. And they'll get rid of IDK. X6-Gaming, this is going to be the go button, but Arhan draws out the Dragon Blade, goes dangerously low, will be zapped to death by Nosebite as they leap back in onto the point where they already have the first tick. Pile back in, Mono getting rid of Hyobin.
Donghyun has the ultimate here, might be able to buy some time for the respawns. We're not in overtime, so picking up these kills is actually going to be very consequential for Freecs Blue. X6-Gaming going to have to be creative just to keep this point from passing over.
Interesting. Well, Arhan moving off that Genji. Has the hit scan, flashbang to kill, gets rid of Gilly, who's trying to desperately to sprint back into the point, but they can't do it. X6 get the first point, but they don't get B.
No ability for them to take it. Like you say, Achilles, valiant efforts last time seemed like it would be enough, but because they weren't actually pushing in overtime, the respawns came through. Freecs Blue able to contest, and now they set themselves a very realistic goal on attack. Standard of Freecs Blue defense. Probably most typified by the nano boost being used on the Winston on the first attack, and even though X6-Gaming had a lot of ultimates, 2 picks, it didn't matter how many ults, they were never going to be using them, ended up just being an eco push, and now just getting onto point B is very realistic for a Freecs Blue.
44% is all that they're going to need to get the victory here, close out this match in, pretty much less than an hour since the time the first map started. So in a very strong position, and every team watching this has to be striking fear into their hearts. Everybody that could possibly be facing off against a Freecs Blue in that semifinal.
But kind of the cool thing is that when you're watching this, you can't just copy their hero choices. That won't change anything. It isn't the Junkrat on attack that really captured the imagination from the side of X6-Gaming. It's just how clean they are. It's very much things like communication, which clearly instantly they will focus to single target. They will make good decisions, which often needs shot calling and veteran knowledge to know who to target down first in fights. And it changes for Afreeca Freecs Blue, where they spent more time taking down the likes of Timeboy and Godsby with their opening picks, rather than being a team that dives to support, like a Kongdoo Panthera, for example, is. So because they do so many things so cleanly, you can't just copy them. You really need to just go through a lot of practice, play a lot of scrims, and just get better at the fundamentals of competitive Overwatch.
Well, Afreeca Freecs Blue, I know what that says, even though I can't quite read it in the Korean, but it says you are not prepared, and that's pretty much how it is for X6-Gaming right now.
And it's pretty much for every team in Apex, and increasingly every team in the world, Achilles.
Well, here we go, Donghyun wrapping around the sides. We'll be finding this turret in a moment. Should be able to just take this one out before really Gilly can build up anything.
Yeah, definitely a counterpoint. What was it? He got his full ultimate with his first turret on defense previously. 2 picks already from the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue.
Go ahead, posture up another one on the backside of the pit, but that one's just going to be taken down about as quickly. 26% all that he has on that Torbjorn, and Afreeca Freecs Blue are already in onto this point.
They got positioning on it, looking for the contest. They're waiting to have D.Va and Winston both having their leaps and boosts available, but for now they're still at the point, and that's 1 checkpoint already.
I mean, this triple DPS is working out so well. Donghyun just firing away into the sidelines of X6-Gaming, building up for that pulse bomb, has it ready to go. That's just forward to finish off Gyobin. Throws out the pulse bomb, will die, but gets rid of that turret yet again. Gilly now all on his own, exposed, will fall as Arhan just throws those shurikens out, finds victory, and that will be the first cap coming through. Just about 7 minutes on the clock to make it to 43.8%.
And they do it with the Rogue special. You know, they do it with the triple DPS, which is Donghyun getting off of the D.Va and jumping onto the Tracer. And actually, on his stream, they actually said they took the inspiration from scrimming against Rogue, as Arhan just dashes down Timeboy, and they're basically trying to refine what Rogue did, and so far, looking pretty damn good on this map.
Yep. Arhan peels back, keeps himself alive, and Bebe has been taken out by Donghyun yet again, just diving
It's only 44%, and we're at 34.5 already.
Yeah, Takpizer comes out here from Recries, they poop them off. Cap still coming through, gets rid of Bebe. That's about a team kill, and that'll just be the cap. That'll be the victory. Afreeca Freecs Blue yet again, 3-0 over X6. They will advance to the semifinal, 15-0.
So many favorites have tussled so far at the start of the round of 8. People talking smack, Miro very memorably just a few days ago. Afreeca Freecs Blue seem to just be calling it as it is, saying, yep, 3-0 once again. They don't need to show us innovation. They either run their standard 2-2-2 or Donghyun jumps onto Tracer, and everything they touch turns to gold. It's amazing because they do it so quickly as well. Like you say, an hour of game time, and they already get to take a couple of weeks rest and come straight into the semifinal.
I know you're not much of a man for Lord of the Rings, but to quote a certain Uruk, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Afreeca Freecs Blue will have their steak tonight.
And now you have to wonder what they're going to be getting if they win the whole thing. They're going to get some Wagyu beef, I guess, or some really nice stuff because, yeah, right now the menu seems to include being Apex Season 3 champions. That's the main course, and they're very much working towards it. Another best of 5 and a best of 7. That could just be 7 maps, and game over.
You just wonder who can stand up to this team right now. It would take one hell of a performance to be able to take down Afreeca Freecs, as they have just steamrolled their way into that semifinal.
I think the final was played today. The answer is no one, Achilles, but there is still time. There will be plenty more games of Overwatch for teams to build up synergy. The trendsetters in the winners match don't always have the meta and also their recent results working for them in a month's time whenever we do get around to that final. It's still going to be plenty of stages before then. But Afreeca Freecs Blue, they walk over. Very easy to be gracious when you're 3-0 winners, but they do it so cleanly.
Good sportsmanship still here, though, from X6-Gaming. I mean, they had to expect a loss or be prepared for one coming into this. Definitely hoping for better results to at least take a map or even a round off of the, King of the Hill maps there. But unfortunately, Freecs Blue is just that damn good.
Crucially, they're not eliminated, of course. They will be sitting in, waiting at the losers bracket final to face the winner of Team EnVyUs versus Meta Athena, which is another one of these very fun matches to come.
Yeah, bit of a storied history there. So see who comes out on top of that one. Maybe we get EnVyUs versus X6 yet again. You never know. And then it could be time for vengeance for the Western heroes.
Vengeance over Afreeca Freecs Blue. That is one thing that no team is really close to. They come in the winners, and, well, we get to jump to our second series very fast, and it should be an excellent one. Luxury Watch Blue versus Kongdoo Panthera. There may be some asterisks. The lineups, they're going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
But hopefully the Overwatch is more competitive than Series 1.
I think that it will be, you know. Kongdoo Panthera just recently taking down Lunatic-Hai. LW Blue 3-1 over CONBOX Spirit. So both of these teams in pretty solid states, not quite at the level of Afreeca Freecs Blue, which means that it's going to be a more even playing field.
Target selection, ult economy, the sound box comes live, and Afreeca Freecs Blue, straightforward wins.
Yep, fantastic games from these guys. Look forward to seeing them in the semifinal. For now, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we return, we'll have our second match of the night, see who our second semifinalist will be, as we see Luxury Watch Blue take on Kongdoo Panthera. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
Coming up next, LW Blue, Kongdoo Panthera.
언제 어디서나 깔끔하고 상쾌하게.
이런 게 트래비 스타일.
Stylish sparkling water. 트래비.
선수는 그냥 탄생하지 않습니다. 코어로부터 만들어지는 것이죠. 차이를 만들고 승리를 가져다주며 세상을 놀라게 하는 코어. 노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다. 강력한 코어로 더 강력하게.
Welcome back, Overwatch fans. We're getting ready for our second winners match here at Apex. I'm Achilles, that's Papa Smithy if you're just joining us. It's time to dive into LW Blue squaring off against Kongdoo Panthera. This one on paper should be significantly closer than the match that we just saw. X6 absolutely getting steamrolled by Afreeca Freecs Blue.
And it's also one that's kind of completely laden with history. These two teams were in the round of 8 in the same group in Season 2, and while the teams have changed a bit, the identities are largely there. Kongdoo Panthera in the first match, so that would have been last week, the equivalent of that, beat Luxury Watch Blue in an upset. It was a 3-2 victory. Kongdoo Panthera got to the winners bracket final, lost to Meta Athena, then lost to Luxury Watch Blue in the losers bracket final 3-1. So these matchups have already happened. That was last season. Kongdoo Panthera stacked the roster. Now they have, at least you would arguably, some of the most mechanically talented DPS players you could ever ask for.
Sure.
Both Rascal and Birdring, insanely talented, insanely large hero pools. They've got a lot going for them. But it gets better for Kongdoo Panthera because they also find themselves against a Luxury Watch Blue without their main tank. And for the best part of this season, people have said your Winston player is your key player. Well, guess what? We don't even know who their Winston player is because someone is going to have to cover with Giannis unable to play.
Yeah, so it's going to be questionable for the side of LW Blue how they're going to approach this one. Do they just
want to take some bets? Who do you reckon it is? My thought, I've seen Pine stream. I used to watch it before even competitive Overwatch was a thing in Korea. I've seen him play some Winston. I have an outside imagination that he might be playing. And what's your take on this?
I mean, I kind of agree that Pine's probably the one. You don't want to move Flower away from DPS. No. If not Pine, then probably Sabiolbi.
What about the fact that people have said that you look at Haksal, Genji players jumping to Winston is a pretty natural transition. Maybe Flower is he's the best Genji on the team. Maybe he is the one to jump over. You got someone like Luna who's already shown he can flex from support to Sombra. It's kind of a mystery. We don't have the answer to this, and I imagine Luxury Watch Blue have been scrambling just to put together some strategies. This is a team that have debuted so many strategies during the course of even just this tournament, with the triple support on defense, with the double hit scan, with the the Body Shot Widowmaker comp with the Zenyatta, Mercy, and Widowmaker. They've been so innovative, and now they have to kind of innovate themselves out of a really complicated situation.
Yes, I mean, stacked deck for the side of Kongdoo Panthera. So a loss here would be so very disappointing.
Look, we've got Kongdoo Panthera, who went up 2-0 against Lunatic-Hai, were reverse swept, and we talked about mentality, young players. If they lose this series with this much of a stacked deck, mental boom is a big term in Korea. I think it's mental explosion for Kongdoo Panthera. You have to see them just going out of the tournament because they are so set up to win today.
Yeah, I mean, this could be, the furthest that Kongdoo Panthera as a team has made it. If they can win this match here, make their way into the semifinal, it'd be so good for the org, who shifted everything to this team, kind of sacrificed Kongdoo Uncia so that Panthera would have success. Have some nice little Waka Waka signs coming through, fans in the audience.
Panthera have a lot of adorable players. They also have the adorable uniforms, Achilles. They're still sailors.
Oh, somebody's going to be crying. So, well, that's unfortunate.
On the luxury watch side, I believe that is Luna.
Yeah. It's surrounded by Sabiomi on the right-hand side there. And it looks like that player's flipping them off. I can't tell if he's adjusting his glasses or if it's actually an image of him.
Let's assume it's
flipping.
Not aggressive. You're presuming aggressive.
I'm thinking that he's just fixing his glasses with his middle finger. That's what I'll go for.
We've all been there. Sometimes you have to scratch your eye. It's the wrong finger. Suddenly you're being aggressive.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't mean to do that.
I know what you're up to in your spare time.
When you don't see me for a couple days.
I'm like, where you're at? You're like, yeah, had a bit of a rough night's sleep. Now I know where you were.
The hangover was based on my life. Yeah. I have a multi-personality disorder. I think that I'm Bradley Cooper and, Zach Galifianakis and whatnot. So.
Well, speaking of multiple personalities, I think we're almost ready for some personalities to talk about this particular series. I'm ready for some more trash talk. The trash talk was kind of not empty in our first series. It was 3-0.
I mean, how strong is the trash talk going to be from the side of LW Blue? That's going to be the big question because they don't have much to talk up unless they really just want to be like, you know what? We don't need a tank player. We don't need a main tank to beat.
I reckon you just start the what ifs. What if they don't win? What if Kongdoo Panthera don't win? Is a fun question to bring up because they're so set up to be in a great spot.
It'll be a very interesting result. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer before we get into the games and see. Let's go ahead and hear from the players.
와, 이거 못 피했어요.
오늘 잡폭이 왜 이렇게 날립니까? LW 블루가 결국 승자전으로 갑니다.
깔끔하게 못 이겨서 좀 아쉬웠던 것 같아요. 저번 시즌처럼 미끄러지지 않고 좀 깔끔하게 올라왔으면 좋겠어요.
루나틱 이겼을 그 당시는 약간 혼이 나갔어요. 이거 진짜 이긴 거 맞아? 한번 다시 보고 모니터 보고 맞네! 약간 이런 식으로 그만큼 기분이 나요.
콩도 판테라 16강에서 그렇게 고생하고 그리고 나서 여기서 연수비 탱커도 아주 멋졌어요. 마지막에.
콩도 판테라는 승전에서 만날 줄은 예상 못했어요. 대회에서만 나오면은 많이 무너지는 모습이 시즌1 때 버릇을 못 고치신 것 같아요.
감당되세요? 루나틱하이도 이겼는데 LW가 눈에 보이나요? LW 쟁탈을 할 때 항상 보면은 초반 흐름을 좀 못 잡는 거 같거든요. 포지션도 계속 서로 바꾸고 있고 아직도 자기들이 어떤 조합을 했을 때 가장 강한지를 모르고 있는 것 같아요.
그거 자체가 전략인 것 같아요. 저희가 8인 로스터다 보니까 색다른 조합도 나올 수 있고 상대가 예측 못하게 변수 플레이도 많이 능한 것 같아요. 걱정거리는 딱히 없고요. 그냥 너무 많이 먹어서 연습할 때 많이 덩치 큰 친구가 졸려 보여서 그게 걱정입니다. 힐러진들이 좀 물면은 바로 죽더라고요. 일단 보이면은 살려고.
제가 다 케어할 수 있으니까. 8강에 온 이후부터는 앞서가는 느낌이 계속 들고 있는 것 같아요. 그런 게 이유가 어디 있어요?
아이돌과 프로게이머의 차이가 뭔지 보여주겠습니다. 4강 티켓 감사합니다.
Overwatch Apex Season 3, energized by Hot 6, quarterfinal. Today's matchup, LW Blue, Kongdoo Panthera.
Well, there you have it. Trash talk exchange on both sides, but LW Blue Meko saying, I'll show you the difference between pro gamers and idols.
And you know, Kongdoo Panthera can't really say much. They're in sailor suits, so they kind of start to fail on that particular point, but it's going to have to be a very creative series given the innate problems Luxury Watch Blue have with not having Giannis on the roster. So they are set up to succeed, whatever they're wearing here. Kongdoo Panthera, they want to finally punch their ticket to the semifinals.
LW Blue.
자, 맵을 시지 선수. 네, 맵을 시가 계속 타겟팅이 되고 있어요. 자, 일단 방금 안 돼요. 안 되면
Flower.
제외하고 와 들어가는 멋져. 이깁니다 지금. 그쵸? 픽 보셔.
Pine.
네, 뒤에서 먼저 녹아요. 네, 그냥 바로 순식간에 잡아냅니다.
Luna.
안 된다 싶으면 네, 40인데 와, 등벽으로 막기. 아, 주정 맞죠.
Meko.
네, 확실히 좀 분위기를 탁 따라가볼 수 있는 게 그런 때문에 불러줘요. 네. 소리도 좋고, 여기서 2킬 3킬. 와, 끝까지 템블러 체력 없는데도 소리방울 안 써주는 거 너무 좋고요.
새별비.
잡아낸 거고요. 73번. 오! 체력이 없어요. 몰라요.
Gambler. LW Blue.
Really love the highlight bits there with Pine just intercutting the Korean audio. Just, every time he gets a headshot. Fantastic. I mean, like you said, we've been repeating this time and time again since the first couple days of Apex with this roster. LW Blue, so strong with their DPS players. Everybody remembers back to IM Gyeonggi seeing Flower, then Nano Hana popping off with the LW Purple combination roster, taking that tournament and just being wowed by his performance.
And we get wowed almost every time we see Luxury Watch Blue because they're so innovative. They bring in new strategies. I already mentioned triple support on defense. I mentioned the body shot Widowmaker comp, but even just strategies like on Volskaya, attacking the big health pack to counter the Sombra defense that was defining the meta. But now they, again, have to find themselves out of a different problem with Giannis not being on the roster. Luxury Watch Blue, if they can do it here, that would be so big for them. It would give them time to kind of regroup their team.
Lots of pressure on these guys. See how they can manage without Giannis there. Walking away with that victory, getting into the semifinal will be so crucial for them and make such a statement with the lack of that main tank. Strike fear into the hearts of maybe even the likes of Afreeca Freecs Blue. But still, uphill battle stage set against them. Let's go ahead, meet their opponents in Kongdoo Panthera. We'll try that again. I was going to say, how long is it going to go? Right now, let's meet Kongdoo Panthera.
Luffy.
자, 이게 그 파괴력이라고 할까요? 용검을 켜서 써는 것까지는 좋은데 그 이후에
좋은 타이밍 소개시켜주고요.
피셔. 자, 와요, 강타 그리고 돌진수.
Fisher.
입장에서 좋아 보입니다.
자, 근데
소리방법은 안 빠졌어요.
네.
또 와중에 라스카 선수가 그렇죠. 정리하고 있어. 그냥 잡히고 부착당하고.
자, 이렇게 되면
완전 뚫렸죠. 완전 뚫렸죠.
신나입니다. 콩드 파테라.
완전 그래죠.
라스카리 다시 한 번 이렇게.
Rascal.
나요.
오히려 이거 플레이 굉장히 좋았고. 네, 한번 건너버리고.
자, 조금 더 버틸 수 있을까요?
상대방이 잡아내면 좋아요.
네.
버텼어요.
야, 이걸 이렇게.
Boy.
선수가 전투고등가 이선을 달라붙는 건 이건 나쁘지 않아요.
쉬워.
잡았어요.
야, 마무리를
잡고 약간 뒤로 빠졌다가 물리지 않아요. 잡아야 되는데.
Bird Rain.
아, 먼저 잡고까지 연계.
진짜 아름다운 작품입니다. 가스는 좀 버튼은 내고 있어요.
근데
Waka Waka. Kongdoo Panthera.
Alrighty. See the highlight clips. Birdering and Rascal especially destroying, as you said, such skilled mechanical DPS players for this squad. Going up against some of the other most skilled DPS players in this league.
And you can even cut out some of the words there because mechanical skill is kind of a common point with all 6 players on the side of Kongdoo Panthera. Interestingly, 5 of their 6 players have flexed onto Soldier for more than 5 minutes for basically a full round this season. Only Fisher has not played Soldier. Waka Waka was previously a DPS flex. They have been all over the place. They have so many different options. And often when they find themselves in bad situations, it feels like they throw out their heroes, re-roll, have a new strategy, and not enough teams have been able to deal with how many different strategies they can throw to capture a point.
We'll see if LW Blue is up to the task as we get ready to find out what our first battleground is going to be for the second match of the night. We're going to be going over to Oasis, so Lijiang at the start. We'll be changing things up here for the second set.
Has been the weakest map type by far, has been this control for the side of Luxury Watch Blue. So Kongdoo Panthera will be wanting to start off this particular series with a win. We're chomping at the bit to get in just to find out who is playing Winston. We have no idea. The only team not playing Winston is Afreeca Freecs Blue on just a couple of maps. There will be a Winston player. Will it be one person? Will it be shared? We don't know the information on that, and it will actually really affect the other hero pools and even the strategies that will be able to be pulled out by Luxury Watch Blue.
Maybe we don't have one. Maybe we go full quick play and it's quad DPS with 2 supports. Who knows?
And that'll be basically when Luna's like, okay guys, I'm playing Sombra support, whatever.
Actually, I'm wrong. That's 2 more supports than you would find in quick play.
Fair,
so,
fair.
yeah, we're just going to go full 6 DPS. Just cram all of the damage down the enemy's throat. Let's go ahead, load up for our first map of our second set here. See who is going to be our next semi-finalist. LW Blue taking on Kongdoo Panthera. Let's go to Oasis.
I get it.
Pretty even. No clear victors in the audience.
Yeah, these are definitely top 5 teams in terms of crowd support here in Apex. Lunatic-Hai by far number 1. RunAway would have been number 2, but were not able to make it to the round of 8. And who knows how many of their fans will be sticking with them after their struggles this season. So far, we see Luna being the one on Winston duty, but we're definitely going to have to wait the countdown. And again, it could still develop over the course of multiple maps. Pine is actually jumping onto the Lucio to open up this first point on Oasis.
All right, interesting. So changing things up for sure here is LW Blue. So completely different approach from what we were really anticipating.
Pharmacy battles. Rascal usually does very well in these, but Firewall doesn't lose many same hero battles as Firewall takes the first mid-air rocket.
Yeah, but finds out another one immediately onto Rascal as he drops down to 9 HP.
This is epic.
So low, yeah, just zooming over the point, trying to keep themselves alive. They'll be able to do so, and Rascal go ahead, draw that first blood. He takes down Yobi. Flower finding Luffy in the meantime. But it's just going to be trades back and forth. He goes straight into Flower's face. Yeah, taken down mid-air. Flower coming out on top of that one, trying to get rid of Waka Waka. Won't quite be able to find it, but Kongdoo Panthera nearly having that cap will now be contested from the side of LW Blue. Flower gets taken down. Fisher finding that kill. They leap back in, trying to complete this, but nobody's got it yet.
Yeah, Luffy hasn't got back either. It seems like Luxury Watch Blue will be able to chase them out. One of those rare fights where the person who has the team that has the player picked first still wins, and it shows the importance of specifically the Mercy staying alive. Mercy going down first meant that basically Rascal was exposed, and from there, first blood over to Luxury Watch Blue, first capture.
Yeah, and about 10% advanced here on that barrage is Flower right now over Rascal's. Getting a couple rockets in to build up and try to match that as best as possible.
No adjustments yet from the side of Kongdoo Panthera, but some ultimates there as well. Pine is picked off to open this, so down a healer.
Yeah.
No resurrect yet
taking
either.
Him out. Pulse bomb thrown out. Yobi just a second too late. Can't quite find the stick on the Luffy, and Rascal will take out Gambler in exchange on the Mercies as Luna gets rid of him. But now the barrage thrown down here by Rascal, trying to kill Flower, but yet again, just going to be stable in one spot. Will be taken down. Flower does a barrage of his own, but Fisher just zap him for a second. 3 HP. Not a whole lot necessary to finish off that Pharah. He does go down, and this looks like Kongdoo Panthera getting ready for a cap. All they need to do is finish off Pine. Gonna go ahead and invest the Primal Rage for this.
And he still has ultimate, died with the sound barrier up, so for now still contesting. Will use No, won't. Actually, it goes down with it, but has it now after the res.
Yeah, res has come through. Now sound barrier answered here from the side of LW Blues. They try to hold on to this point. 63% ticking up even further. Flower all on its lonesome as Gambler and Pine have both died. It's just a matter of time for this Sphere to go down. Has to back way off into the enemy territory to get himself out to safety, but the point is still being delayed.
Yeah, it's been contested this whole time. Echo needs to be taken out. The flip might finally come in for Kongdoo Panthera. There it is.
Yeah, they get it. 78% though, already built up here for LW Blue. Res is there for Luffy, so lots of measures that can be taken to extend their hold on
This game is all about Rascal versus Flower. If you look at the two teams, there really isn't tools to deal with. It's not even a Genji to jump in. There's no soldiers on either side. It's purely a pharmacy battle.
Oh, stick comes through. He'll leap through. Drops down that barrier just to try to get rid of some follow-up damage from Birdring, but gets taken down by Void in the end. Pine jumping around, tries to keep himself alive. Deep chase coming through here from Birdring, trying to get on top of him.
But Luxury Watch Blue being controlled here, backing away. They know they have percentage to work with. They need to approach with 6 and find a way to take down Luffy, who died with his ultimate previously, but has had the res advantage for the last couple of engagements. No such big tools on the side of Luxury Watch Blue.
He'll be going low, trying to win out this Tracer battle. Dashes in behind him. This coming out on top. Recall just comes down now. He will peel back. 76 in, he's likely to fall. And now looking for the re-entry, goes in onto the point, has the pulse bomb ready to go. Can he get the stick onto a crucial target such as Waka Waka? A bit too risky given the mobility, so he just wants to dash around, try to find a kill onto the Lucio, but can't get it. Birdring pursues deeper, takes him out several kills. It's built forth here for Kongdoo Panthera as they get ready to tie.
You're starting to see how disconnected Luxury Watch Blue are. Luna died very early, kind of understandable. Winston timings are so specific and require so much practice that you can see that Luna is doing his best, but disconnected from the team. The one-track mindedness of Luxury Watch Blue that has carried them to success on so many different comps. Largely abandoned them here. Had a good first capture, but
Sound barrier comes down. Barrage thrown out there by Rascal. Does find Luna yet again, getting rid of the Winston first and foremost. Mekko throws the self-destruct. Won't find anything, but Waka Waka's been taken out on the backside by that pulse bomb. Gambler as well. Self-destruct finds him. Void comes up with a pop onto Mekko's mech as well. So Kongdoo Panthera still winning up the fights, now forcing it in overtime.
Yeah, looking to close this one out. Sabiobi having that trades with Birdring. Doesn't go one way or the other yet. Seeing the fight continue. Kongdoo Panthera set up to succeed. No support ultimates up. There's a couple more picks.
Luna dies. Flower goes down as well. LW Blue just going to be pouring in one after the other, trying to hold on to this. Sabiobi will go down. Gambler pops the res.
Big
Could
res.
that be the turnaround? Doesn't find one, so Flower is still going to be down. Brings them back in as they still posture forward. Luna yet again will fall. Just can't seem to stay alive on this Winston. And now it's just an all-out brawl as LW Blue desperately tries to extend this as much as possible, but they're still getting picked off one after the other. Flowers coming back in, hovering in from the skies, has the barrage, throws it in, finds Rascal right up in front, but now the defense matrix from Void, denying the rest of the hits. Finds a body shot on the Luffy, almost gets the kill, but he goes down with the rest of the team. And that is going to be guarded, going over to Kongdoo Panthera.
Yeah, Luxury Watch Blue, excellent opening. Got the first flip and contested it for a long time, but the moment they lost it, their engages onto their point, which of course need to be so much more coordinated than the long trades. They got the first kill, but it feels like on specifically control, if Luxury Watch Blue don't get the first capture of a point, then you really rely on those split-second timings from your Winston coming in, your directed engages, perfect communication, and it can't be there when players are on off rolls. They look like a completely different team when they don't have control of a point and they can kite back. And that's concerning because Kongdoo Panthera already one map on and Luxury Watch Blue. It's going to be tricky. Going to see some more mix-ups here. Pine's going to be on the Sombra to start this one up, so won't be on the Lucio duty. Got relegated. Or promoted, hard to say.
Not sure which one, but yeah, we move over to University, and I mean, this is where Twilight on CONBOX Beard really showed off what that Sombra can do.
Well, we got Rascal on the side of Kongdoo Panthera on the Sombra, one of the few Sombra players in Korea that actually come from a DPS position, not from a support, although
he's swapping out.
Yeah, he does swap out very late in the picture with 4 seconds left before the first capture. Interesting.
Yeah, of all people to be picking this one up. Rascal coming through onto Zenyatta. Interesting to see as Birdring goes deep, dashing in, just trying to get on top of Luna and Mekko, chunking them down below half HP. So good posture forward here from the side of Kongdoo Panthera, but Birdring and Fisher both fall, so this could be the opening for LW Blue to get that initial cap, and they will. as they rip through Kongdoo Panthera, finishing off Rascal at the end.
And so crucial, as we mentioned, for them to pick up that first cap. My impression is that the moment they saw Flower on Genji, they went and thought that they had to have something like a Zenyatta if they were going to win an opening engage. They don't. We see Rascal and Luffy jumping on the Pharmacy again. Going to try to take to the air, but already 2 ultimates for the side of Luxury Watch Blue, and no Transcendence available.
He'll be trying to play cheeky. And stealthily there on the Tracer will get spotted out, has to leap out back in onto the point, where they will continue defending this one.
ENVYUs.
EMP does come down here, and now that's going to be Luffy. He is very vulnerable to this Tracer, but you can see immediately Waka Waka goes forward and just bursts him back up. He will die in the end as Meko takes him out. And this is going to be cleanup time here for LW Blue. Rascal tries to escape, but will get sniped out of the sky.
We may have complimented Kongdoo Panthera's mechanics. No slouches on the side of Luxury Watch Blue, and again, so much more straightforward to see hero kill hero once you control a point. Kongdoo Panthera for a second time switching means their ult economy is still very much at bare. The cupboard is empty, and the time is starting to tick away for Luxury Watch Blue.
Yep, Pulse Bomb coming out here from Sabielby, finishes off Fisher and helps pop the mech there on the Void as he gets knocked out. Echo will lose his as well. Now the Dragon Blade's out from Flower. Dangerously low, has a deflect coming through, trying to deny those rocket hits. Still is able to take down Luffy with the help of Gambler, and they'll get Rascal. One final rocket will finish off the Genji, but the damage has been done. LW Blue maintain control, and they're getting closer to 100%.
Yeah, you get one more contest here from Kongdoo Panthera, finally with a couple of ultimates, but the Pharmacy that was switched onto still far from having big impact in this map. EMP could just decide the game if it's on point. Pine's in the back line. So even just a deep is a good start.
There's only a couple members that he could hit with this one. Will snap back. Wait for the next translocator, perhaps to get himself above the members of Kongdoo Panthera. Birdring tosses out that Pulse Bomb, not going to find anything, nor will it self-destruct from the side of Kongdoo Panthera, but Meko gets rid of Void, kills him in that Baby Diva form. Flower's gone down, but the ranks of Kongdoo Panthera just being ripped through. Rascal in the skies gets taken out. Luna leaping up there, finishes him off, and Fisher, he's got the Primal Rage, but he needs to tag back in onto the point, cannot do so. Will get finished off, and that will tie up Oasis as we get ready to move over to City Center.
Yeah, some really good target selection coming through from Luxury Watch Blue. Clearly still able to make things happen when they get their first capture, but Kongdoo Panthera really started mixing things up. And we've seen them make some changes we didn't understand. Hanamura attack going triple support, for example. Not the triple support that looked great for Luxury Watch Blue. That was an interesting choice on the side of Kongdoo Panthera. And here, very late swapping onto the Zenyatta meant they were kind of out of position for the first trades. They lost those, and from there, then jumped onto the Pharmacy, never got value out of it like they did on Gardens. And now we're all kind of tied up on the third map. We're going to see the replay of Pine jumping in. He's tracking onto the side of Birdring.
And just using that translocation, just dashing out, keeping himself safe. But now we move over to City Center. Final round on Oasis. Let's see who will take the initial lead in this best-of-5 series.
Birdring was able to get shots in and also take the health back, so didn't have to use recall in that particular open.
So going to be the Pharmacies out here. Fisher goes low, drops in the bubble, but Luna, yet again, going to be one of the first ones to get picked off as Void finds him.
Didn't feel like he was getting the defensive coverage there, so him going down can definitely be massive. But actually capturing the point here with so much contestion points is very difficult. Capture started.
Get it most of the way there for Kongdoo Panthera. Fisher just getting fired on from above.
Buying time for Luna to get back.
Through him. One more hit would have done it, but can't quite find the shot onto Rascal, so he'll get top back up. Fisher goes down, but Meko follows suit, so both sides losing tanks, and Birdring wins out the Tracer battle. Is that enough for them to get this cap? Pine still on the point. Pulse Bomb comes down, not going to get the stick, not going to get the kill. They stay alive for a bit longer, but Luna yet again dangerously low. Mercy keeping him topped up, even through the damage of Birdring, but finally will be able to find it. And now he's looking for more. Gambler popping that res, keeping himself invulnerable, make sure that he does not go down. Barrage done out by Flower.
We still haven't seen the first capture of this map because it keeps going. Luxury Watch Blue bought so much time for Luna to come back into the fight. It didn't go one way. The res was big. They just get the first capture after Kongdoo Panthera had invested a lot in trying to get it themselves.
There was that last second contest right before the tick came through, but LW Blue do open up with this one. Going to be support reses on either side. Sound barrier here for Pine. Luffy with the res.
And this is one of the few maps where getting that first kill, again, doesn't always mean the most because it's so easy to contest. The Diva bought so much time that the flip never needed to happen. First capture Luxury Watch Blue as Sound barrier opens this map.
Oh, and Flower.
Headshot.
Just finds Waka Waka. Rocket to the face. Gets rid of the enemy Lucio. And that's going to help them hold on to this point for days at a time.
He actually used the res just onto Waka Waka, close to the sound barrier.
And Waka Waka still in danger of going low, will get knocked to the side. Barrage comes down here from Rascal as Flower just gets pooped around the sky. Keeps himself alive, however, for the moment. Gambler sticking to him like glue, and the self-destruct finds a kill onto Birdring. Luffy goes down as Luna finishes him off. But the flip has come through. Kongdoo Panthera finally regained control.
First flip we've seen come through of this particular map, but they are losing members. This is with a deficit of team members, so it could actually be a fast flip back to Luxury Watch Blue.
And it looks like it will be. Yeah, gets completed 13%, all that they were able to accrue. Now 50 here for Luxury Watch Blue, and still have plenty of ultimates. Barrage on the way here for Flower, and Res is available for Gambler.
On control, a flip happening isn't always indicative of who's winning. They basically had to stop contesting a battle they were losing to just basically delay time. It's not the 74% timer because they dropped off a flip, but they were always going to lose the engage.
Dolby's on the hunt, looking for Waka Waka, takes him dangerously low as he tries to sprint out of there, but he will get taken down in the end. Doesn't even need to use the pulse bomb. Now Luffy under fire, goes into the barrier to try to keep himself alive, and the self-destruct is tossed out. Recall keeps him alive, and Sabiobi still just firing from the ground, trying to finish off these Skyborn members of Kongdoo Panthera. Can't quite find it, but still is wreaking havoc and keeping this point contested.
Rascal takes out the Diva at least. Gambler alive with the res, not used yet.
There's no tank line here for LW Blue, and Sabiobi will go down, so the delay tactics have been eliminated.
Was alive, but was still coming back to the point. The deaths were in an awkward spot, and the rest of the team couldn't have been there, so it would almost certainly have been multiple kills after the res was used. So probably smart to just back away. Still have plenty of percentage to play with.
See how they approach this one now. 95% is where they got to. One ultimate here for Kongdoo Panthera.
Rascal needs to have some of the salvos we've seen. Has really proved his power play in previous maps.
He's going straight up into the sky, trying to get these hits in. Onto Gambler, who
Luffy's
does
so
go
low.
dangerously low, but Gambler will fall in the end. Birdring, of all people, is able to finish him off, and now Flower under fire as the enemy Thera goes straight into his face. He finds a body shot, and that's going to be enough for Rascal to go ahead and peel back. Now he's looking for these ground targets. Going to finish off the tanky front line of LW Blue and stop this push from coming in. Nearly had the recap. Self-destruct actually takes out Luffy, who had the res available.
Yeah, but both supports were already dead on Luxury Watch Blue. They're still coming back into the fight. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are over.
Echo gets jumped on, goes dangerously low, just trying to weave his way out of here. Defense Matrix up, but can't cut his way through that Winston. Just zapping him away. So Meko just going to go ahead and jump off the map, regroup with the squad, and I mean, Kongdoo Panthera, they're getting dangerously close here. 80% about to be attained.
And it's going to have to be a moment to remember from someone like Flower or Sabiobi. 5 ultimates from Kongdoo Panthera. They need to get rid of this res, but also they have to contest so many ults available. Again, the moment of brilliance, that's what's needed.
See if they can find it. About to be tied here. 95% across the board. Overtime will be coming through for Kongdoo Panthera. Sabiobi going off the bounce board, looking for a kill on Waka Waka again, but can't quite find it. Self-destruct thrown out by Void. Not going to come up with any kills, but Pine has fallen, and Luna goes down. The pulse bomb comes through, but the res is there to answer from Gambler. Flower finds a kill on the Rascal, who will be res immediately out by Luffy. So still going to be the 6v6 with several members going low. Flower still up in the sky, getting that boosted damage coming through, finds a shot in on the Rascal. He will go down as Luna leaps in. Barrage thrown down onto the Primal Rage Winston, just trying to get rid of him, but he's going to get taken out of the sky by Birdring on that Tracer, just firing away. 2 members dead on LW Blue, 3 on Kongdoo Panthera as they fight for the recap. They're looking for it, but the delay tactics from Kongdoo are coming through.
So insane this has been. A Winston advantage for side Luxury Watch Blue as Primal Rage used second. Sabiobi takes out the mech. Another one falls down. Luxury Watch Blue just desperate for the flip.
Piling back in, Void does go down, but now it's the DPS members and Waka Waka going in, just trying to delay this as much as possible. Sound barrier
dies
drawn
during
out,
it,
but he doesn't get the hit. It will be flipped back over, and now this is LW Blue's map to win. Flower on this Sombra goes dangerously low, keeps himself alive as they finish off Fisher, and the Overwatch is ticking down. Can they get it? No, they cannot. LW Blue will come up with the first map win on Oasis.
And what a big statement for this team with the unfortunate situation of not having a primary Winston. Luna jumps onto it and does a commendable job. Sure, they looked weaker, but that's because they're one of the favorites for the whole tournament. They come in, they take the first map, and you have to now check in with Kongdoo Panthera. I wonder if they also will need to have a tactical pause, because they are a team that has been a slave to momentum, and early momentum goes the way of Luxury Watch Blue.
Fantastic start for these guys. Really rough on Gardens, but convincing performances there on University, down to the wire on City Center, but they come up with the win, and like you said, momentum going to be in their favor. Kongdoo Panthera, at least for the moment, not calling for that tactical pause, so maybe we just go straight in, but first, we're looking at a play of the game, and it's going to be from Pine, baiting you out.
Oh, I love that particular highlight ultimate. So Pine comes in, hacks the Tracer, takes her down, trivializing Birdwing to start already kind of a mission success for the Sombra. I mean, this is just tracking. It's beautiful
tracking.
Yeah. Atlas is at home smiling.
But Pine,
how many play of the games from a Sombra doesn't involve an EMP?
Not many. Not many at all. It's like seeing a Mercy play the game that isn't a res, but okay, there we go. So just had to wait for that play of the game to get squeezed in there, and then the tactical pause gets called out by Kongdoo Panthera.
Gotta calm down their charges here. Do Kongdoo Panthera's coaching staff also make the decision of which of the hybrid maps to go to? Best so far performing of this season has been Numbani, which is definitely an option for them. I think going Numbani against Luxury Watch Blue is also a risk, given that, hey, any map that encourages Flower to jump onto Genji can be a big headache. We'll see how the game plan for Luxury Watch Blue with Luna on Winston applies to other map types. Control is just chaos. It feels like mechanics kind of trump particular strategy on specifically Control, because most of the time it does end up feeling like team deathmatch. On Control, pushing the payload onto Hybrid is going to be a very different beast. And also how Kongdoo Panthera will rebound. They're usually a team that on attack looks significantly better than on defense. You think of Void, he's one of these shutdown divas. He's trying to go dive and shut down someone like AKM on Rogue, where he did a fantastic job. Probably was the man of the series there when Kongdoo Panthera beat Rogue. He's not necessarily one of the peeling divas that we very often see, so a couple of them in our first series. So very interesting to track how Luxury Watch Blue can back up their performance, because usually Hybrid is their playground, 4 and 0. But a lot of those sound bites and previous performances mean less when it's a different Luxury Watch Blue again.
Yeah. Well, already finding the win there on King of the Hill. Very big for Luxury Watch Blue. Lost to CONBOX Spirit. The only map that they dropped was Nepal in their series at the start of the round of 8, and then went on to win the final 3. Maybe just close this out with a 3-0. That'd be one hell of a statement.
Again, I really wonder what Kongdoo Panthera would show up after a series where they lost 3-0 to a Luna on Winston Luxury Watch Blue. Somehow I don't think that will happen. I think maintaining that level of performance across 3 different map types with a player on an unfamiliar role is too much to ask for the side of Luxury Watch Blue, but after picking up that first map, they're definitely feeling confident that it could be a series win that may have looked very difficult previously. Gambler showing us some very nice opportune moments on to the Mercy.
See, I told you, it's always a res. It comes down to those Mercy highlights. Every now and then you get those ones where you just get like a quadra kill with your pistol.
We all remember when Play of the Game was basically always a Mercy ult, because they changed the formula, and if you got a 2-man res, that was apparently better than a soldier getting 3 or 4 kills with Attack Visor.
Yeah.
Can sometimes situationally be more impressive, but that was literally Mercy Play of the Game every game.
Yeah, which led to a meta of everybody just kind of like crouching in the corner, waiting for their team to die so they could get to the top of Reddit.
So you also mean the current meta where Mercy is also dominating the competitive ladder?
Sure.
But not as many highlight clips,
Yeah.
so at least Reddit's happy.
Not as many people just waiting for everybody else to die so they could swoop in and get the play of the game and get that sweet, sweet karma later.
They just get those sweet, sweet ranking points instead.
Yeah. Turns out SR's pretty nice. But that's going to be the end of the tactical pause. Kongdoo Panthera, for their sakes, you have to hope that talk from the coaches was enough to get themselves reset mentally after that loss.
Now we get to see which of those hybrid maps they choose. Again, my first thought was it was going to be the side of Numbani, as, well, we've had a play of the game interrupt into a tactical pause, into an audio issue.
All right. Kongdoo Panthera just decided to get 3 minutes. He said, enough. Quick, break your headset. Well, just going to get that taken care of. Need to be able to hear in this game, obviously, if you're going to have success. So get that taken care of and then figure out what our next battleground's going to be.
Waiting with bated breath on that. Hollywood also undefeated for the side of Kongdoo Panthera this season, so another option for them.
Well, seems like everything's taken care of, so we can go ahead, square this away, and it's going to be Hollywood, as you mentioned.
They Hollywood against Luxury Watch Blue that debuted a dominant strategy on this map. Going to be very interesting. Will it still be triple support with their support player currently flexing over to the tank? Will it be something new from Luxury Watch Blue? I feel like every map we see them on, we'll see something new. We've already seen Pine flex on and off of Lucio.
Yeah.
They're going to continue basically being fill players for the course of this series. And if the fill players take down Kongdoo Panthera at full strength, oh boy, there's going to be one hell of a trash talk interview next time around.
Yeah. And one hell of a VOD review for Kongdoo Panthera at the end of the day, if that were to happen. But yeah, like you said, Pine has been very versatile, flipping off to different heroes. So maybe we will see that triple support as we get ready to load up for Hollywood. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this one, see if LW Blue will take a lead, go to match point in this series, or if Kongdoo Panthera will tie things up.
I get it.
Well, here we are in sunny Hollywood, or Hollywoo, if you like a certain animated TV show.
Shout out to BoJack Horseman. What a great show on Netflix. I won't complain. I did see the D very clearly there of the Hollywood sign though, so just Hollywood being represented in this game is let's play the counting supports game. I see two. Not gonna be triple this time from Luxury Watch Blue.
Well, that's no fun.
I mean, Luna's playing Winston, so on the fun factor, we can't complain too much. So far, you know, he's looked pretty good.
It looked all right. You know, still dying a bit too frequently, but maybe he just has to be the sacrificial scientist.
I don't think we can really put him on the, you know, Miro tier list and try to compare him to some of the best, but he also hasn't been our worst Winston of the tournament.
That's very true. There's been a few that would qualify for that. Flower just going to be looking for some opening percentage here with those Helix rockets.
Rascal, who plays such a wide array of DPS and even support heroes, as we learned in the previous map, is actually going to be opening, at least thus far, onto the side.
With this one, he already finds a hit. He's firing blindly around the corner.
This is very strong against triple support, but not what Luxury Watch Blue is running.
Seems like he was expecting this. Gonna be looking for the hit there. Can't quite find it. As the defense matrix is there to devour a lot of these arrows coming through. How long he wants to stick with this. Finds a shot on the Sapiobi, so that's a nice one. Just poked his head out.
He already has 78% working his way towards the ultimate as well.
Yeah, they're piling in onto the point. First tick about to come through, and LW Blue are just getting shut out right now. Flower and Gambler both going down, and Rascal still alive. Firing off, finds the hit onto Beko. Gets him knocked out of the suit. That might just be the cap.
Add an extra one to the Kongdoo Panthera list of heroes they can play. Another flex coming through, making even the Hanzo work in this particular one.
So how does he set up the ultimate is going to be the question.
They might just fire it and change. Hanzo's not quite as effective on this part of the map, at least from reliability sake.
A lot of swerving to do with the payload, so not exactly the straight line shot that you want to get.
Yeah, headshots when you're largely going to be firing from low ground are very, very difficult. But he'll want to pop the ultimate, that's for sure.
Yep, well, he's going to go ahead and throws it down. But too angled into the ground to really get much done, though, so not going to find any kills for his trouble. We'll get left on here. The sound barrier comes down to keep him alive, and they're going to pop Beko out yet again. Doesn't quite find the shot, but they still are just swooping up the members of LW Blue and putting them in the trash can.
Yep. Oh. Gets the scatter arrow onto Flower. He'll want to see that one in the VOD review.
Simple geometry.
The simplest, as they will still get a pretty big push. Luxury Watch Blue went for a very deep dive. The ultimate kind of slowed them, and then everyone in Kongdoo Panthera was in position to mop up when they finally poked their heads out. So significant meterage on the cart, which honestly hasn't been stopped very frequently so far.
Yeah, I knew there was a reason that I hated geometry in school. It was getting me ready for this game to come out and Hanzo to be there. Pulse Bomb comes through looking for the stick, not quite going to get that one. That Primal Rage does come through, keeping Luna alive, at least for the moment. Sapiobi takes Rascal out of the fight in the meantime. The Discord Orb there means that Luna is still a juicy target. Flower with the Dragon Blade comes up with a kill on the Waka Waka, looking for a little bit more.
They got both supports here. Good Luxury Watch Blues, that will stall the push. Finally, we will see some changes. Rascal opened on Genji before changing into the Hanzo as the seconds ticked away, and Genji a lot more suited to contesting high ground and diving down on the streets phase of Hollywood.
So no more brother battles, just going to be clones going at it here with these double Genjis. So pretty, match comps across the board now here for Panthera and LW Blue. Bird Ring going into the back line, so going to build up this pulse bomb. Just 10 more % for him to get this. This score orb down onto Luna. He'll get picked off yet again as Rascal finishes him off. Sound barrier from Gambler. Going to be interrupted. Dies before he can hit the ground. Flower finds one on the Luffy, but that's about the only good thing going for LW Blue right now as they keep pushing payload, moving up towards point B.
Yeah, the pick onto Gambler is so important. The sound barrier in that terrain where you can start contesting the card so easily would have been a stall. That stall is impossible, and this may not even be able to be contested at the last moment. Okay, finally, there it is.
They drop it in, but Luna's going to be the first one that goes down. Bird Ring finishes him off with that pulse bomb. Self-destruct tossed out, does find Waka Waka. Couldn't quite see his positioning, but didn't get out of the way in time. So LW Blue, they want to pile in. They want to drain as much off the clock as they can before this point B cap comes through, if not deny it completely. Onto the high ground goes Meko, finishes off Fluffy. So
he actually was able to capture the point.
Oh yeah, they just push it through.
It looks like just as Meko dived off to contest the Zenyatta, the C9-esque moment happens awkwardly with a 4-minute time bank for Kongdoo Panthera to close this map.
It's going to be a bit devastating here. And
it was almost perfection, Achilles, because when you contest it there, it's impossible to get to the cart without being spotted. You usually have to separate your forces through the building, around the roads. It's very difficult to win if there's any defensive ultimates on the defender's side, but now the cart keeps pushing and there's a big time bank. Kongdoo Panthera set up to finish Hollywood.
Should have just let that Zenyatta go. Flower's going to dive into the backside, has the Dragon's Blade out, but will get cut down by Rascal with an ultimate of his own. Helps finish off Luna as well, now chasing in for Gambler. Can't quite pursue that deep, but he'll just get Sabiobi with a right click. Meko as well going down, now chasing in, looking for the enemy Lucio, but he's hightailing it back in towards the spawn. But the cart is still rolling in. Over 3 minutes on the clock as they get ready to complete Hollywood.
And Luxury Watch Blue will only be coming back dry. No ultimates. Luna dies with Primal Rage up, just got it as he died. Plenty of tools here for Kongdoo Panthera to close the map.
Yeah, Flower dead as well. The sound barrier thrown down from Kongdoo Panthera, trying to stick in, trying to get this completion. Sabiobi throwing out the pulse bomb, not going to find a stick, going to go wide, so won't come up with anything, not even a smattering of damage to be offered up. Self-destruct now thrown out here by Meko. Will be able to take care of Rascal, so that's one, but there's still so many members of Kongdoo Panthera, very healthy, sticking to the point. Luffy getting leapt on, goes very low off screen and will be taken down by Luna in the end as he drops back down, but Luna will get picked off as per usual. Kongdoo Panthera, they are being delayed, but they're still just a few meters away from this completion.
Now, Kongdoo Panthera are using ultimates like the Primal Rage when they lost Rascal, who was close to the Dragon Blade. Inevitably, with the respawns, it was very unlikely they'd be able to fully complete the map, and this is one of the bad habits of Kongdoo Panthera. They can overchase even when some of their teammates and key teammates go down. Sure, they have Rascal with Dragon Blade. Sure, it may still be win for Kongdoo Panthera, but the bad habits continue.
Transcendence comes out, Rascal going into the back, trying to find Gambler, gets him yet again before the sound barrier comes through. Could that be enough is going to be the question now as he starts slicing away time and time again. Luna and Flower both fall. Luffy goes down on the side of Kongdoo Panthera, but they answer that for Sabiobi. Meko popped out the delay tactics. Few and far in between here for LW Blues. Gambler desperately drops the sound barrier to try to stop this out. They had a decent delay, cutting the time about in half, but still, point C gets completed.
It is worth noting that we wondered, I posed the question, how will Luna look on a payload compared to the control maps where there's so much disarray that precise timings aren't as important on the Winston engages. Here, he was frequently the first to go down, jumping in too early, not necessarily having his diva backing him up or his healers on his point, and that often meant free meterage again and again to the side of Kongdoo Panthera. Also, too greedy from the side of Meko, jumping forward to contest the high ground and kill the low health Zenyatta, losing the point. Suddenly 4 minutes 15 to just finish the last phase of Hollywood, and predictably Kongdoo Panthera finishing it comfortably.
Yeah. So those minor little mistakes, Luna not quite knowing his limitations, especially with a Zenyatta on the enemy team, just getting picked off way too quickly because of those Discord orbs especially. But now it comes down to their attack, and they need it to be a strong one.
And you imagine on the VOD review, the Luna points are not going to be focused on by the side of Luxury Watch Blue. You have to imagine that they're going to be more focused on, hey, Meko, you know, you're on Diva, this is a bad decision, this is something to really focus on. Hopefully they will have Giannis back next time, as we can look at the Kongdoo Panthera defense, and they're like, well, you guys did a pretty cool strat on this map, we're going to copy it.
Thanks for innovating. Now we're going to steal it and beat you with it.
Rascal has been flexing onto Ana in those offense Hanamura triple supports, so he will be on Ana duty here.
Also saw him for a brief moment on Zenyatta.
So the theory here, again, we've seen it a couple of times. I'm sure we have new viewers, and it's not something you see in solo queue. Very low damage on the side of Kongdoo Panthera. Feels like the Zenyatta is going to be doing a lot of the damage in the early game, just trying to have some long-range impact. But if the support ults start coming together, if you get Nano Boost and also the Primal Rage, you can delay forever. You have to be very on point from Luxury Watch Blue's attack. If they had something like a Hanzo, this would be a great time for it.
Oh, Fisher's in the corner. They'll finally spot him out. Taps a couple members there. Only gets a little bit of percentage, though, as LW Blue seek to wrap around the backside of the point. Pine has this hacked health pack, 200 HP, to constantly spam out for his squad.
Now, this comp is especially strong against Zenyatta dive comps, and there is no Zenyatta from Luxury Watch Blue. It's worth noting they have jumped on the Sombra, which can be so effective when the support ults can't be sent out.
W just looking for some sort of opening, but getting a pick here with really just the Tracer as your DPS is so difficult, and you see they're being shoved right back around the backside of the point.
And it's all going to come down to the EMP, going to be available soon.
Gambler almost goes down, had that heal deny from the Biotic Grenade, but he makes it out safely, gets that back, and now Pine does have the EMP available. If he can assassinate Luffy off the bat, then this could be the opening here for LW Blue. He's going to jump in, drops it down.
Just wants the Zenyatta, gets him.
Yes, he can with the help of Luna. They're able to take him out. Rascal following as well. So just the final support here of Waka Waka to try to keep LW Blue alive. But right now, they're not really playing on the payload. They're playing inside the buildings. They're still suffering losses. Luna, Pine, Gambler, Flower. Now Meko and Sabiobi. Let's just make it a team wipe. Why not? Screw it, says Kongdoo Panthera. Thanks for the EMP. You'll just wipe the floor with your team. They'll hold on to A. Not even a single tick gathered for LW.
Yeah, first kills came through. Everyone's guilty of looking at that kill feed and saying, well, it must be advantage Luxury Watch Blue. But we could see that they re-engaged with Void diving in was super effective. Topped up, sure, a couple of supports were down, but not Waka Waka. In a great spot here, and those support ultimates, 2 out of 3 going to be up, and 3 out of 3 in just a few seconds, you'd imagine.
Flower does have that Dragon Blade ready to go, but Luffy is nearly there for that Transcendence. You can hear that's going to be the Nano Boost coming through, I believe, in onto Fisher. He dives in the back line. Yeah, takes out Pine. Gambler going down as well. And already, LW Blue, their push getting stomped out, shoved all the way back towards the spawn. Flower will die last. A nice stagger coming through. So we're less than 2 minutes out. LW Blue, remember, they have to go all the way to point C.
And this comp, you know, very often it won't full hold point A of Hollywood, but it will always, it feels like, either be run over in 30 seconds or delay for 3.5 minutes. And like you say, delay is so relevant.
Well, that was huge. So Pine, he made it out. Yeah, got rid of that Transcendence. He will get slept on the backside and likely taken out. There we go. Calls out the rest of the squad to finish him off.
Flower still draws his Dragon Blade.
Yeah, knows that there's not a Transcendence, gets rid of Luffy, but needs a bit more than that, but he falls way too low, has to pick up the health pack, and is still being pursued. Void going forward, trying to finish him off. Might just be able to do so. There's nowhere really for him to go. He'll just come straight back down.
Very strange decision by Flower. Sure, he knew Transcendence was down, but his teammates were not going to be in position. They had 6 ultimates if they chose to hold on to the Dragon Blade. Last thing I expected was for Flower to misunderstand the situation, but he read it wrong. I guess feeling the pinch of the time bank. Now the time bank is gone.
Yeah. Pine still does have this EMP, but no Dragon Blade to couple with it. They'll walk forward, already pick off Luffy right off the bat, and Flower does find both of those kills as Waka Waka goes down, so no supports here on the side of Kongdoo Panthera with Rascal falling. They need to get onto the point. First tick about to come through for them. Panthera desperately tries to hold on, but with Fisher and Void dead, no front line available. They might just concede this, but there's still just 20 seconds remaining for LW Blue, so they're not going to have a whole lot for the Streets phase.
Yeah, but Luxury Watch Blue, against the Kongdoo Panthera, they're going to be playing the long game. What they're trying to do is ensure that there's no way in hell that Luxury Watch Blue can complete with a time bank like theirs. 2 minutes 40 for the Streets phase. Kongdoo Panthera, sure, they have to trade. Rascal's the only one that has to change hero. already onto the Genji, and they still have 3 ultimates, 2 of which are prime delay tools. And again, they're just playing to run down this clock.
Seems like a pretty easy task for them at the moment. Birdring going a bit too far forward, has to use the recall. Meanwhile, Flower down on the ground, gets rid of Luffy's, looking for Waka Waka, but can't quite find him. Then he'll settle to go ahead and pop the mech away from Void. As they do finish him off in the end.
Waka Waka was just sitting on the cart, stopping it from pushing. They're trading kills, which isn't necessarily a big problem for the side of Kongdoo Panthera.
But the payload hasn't really made it that far yet. Need to keep things moving. Luna pops the Primal Rage, finishes off Fisher, and he's just trying to shove everybody back towards the spawn so this payload can gain some ground. Long way still to go. We're down to 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Transcendence up. Rascal has his Dragon Blade as well. Sabiobi going down, though.
Getting finished off by Waka Waka of all people. Not even the boop kill. And Luna will go low, jumps back to keep himself alive, and just fuel that final bit of percentage there for the sound barrier for Gambler.
All Luxury Watch Blue can do is focus on full pushing during the Streets phase. Next one is probably going to be the big one. Transcendence and Dragon Blade available. Getting the pick on Sabiobi meant that nothing had to be invested for another 30 seconds to be wasted as the regroup had to come through from Luxury Watch Blue. Watch the EMP, looking to contest the backline. Zenyatta first to get there, saw the translocator.
Yeah, baits this one out yet again, but can they capitalize on it? Pine will fall, so no immediate EMP to come through. We're less than a minute on the clock.
And is the bait as important when Dragon Blade is not available from Flower? If he has the Dragon Blade, great trade of Sombra ultimate for Transcendence. In this case, not as great.
Yeah, and there's not even a nano boost to try to assist in building up that nano blade or that Dragon Blade even faster.
They will be caught again.
Very bad look here for LW Blue. 35 seconds now. And the payload rolling back. Have to go the distance. Translocator comes down. Pine looking for an opening. Doesn't go too far though. And now he's in no man's land. Will fall. Taken out yet again. And that might just be the final nail in the coffin. As Kongdoo Panthera look to even the score.
He died during EMP. Luna also far too deep, like we mentioned, over pursuing, trying to contest the backline with no help. He's going to chase down kills, and yeah, it seems like the Streets phase is going to be too much.
Yeah, Dragon Blade thrown out. EMP doesn't even matter. The sword's already there. Let's cut down the remaining members of LW Blue. And that'll be it. Kongdoo Panthera winning Hollywood. They're shoving it all the way to point C.
And Hollywood did play out a bit more like we expected with Luna on the Winston. The delay tactics were smart from Kongdoo Panthera, using their own comp against them. And then when it came to actually needing to make smart engages, Pine was caught too many times trying to be cheeky in the backline with the translocator plays. Transcendence was answered, but no Dragon Blade to get there. Flower, of all people, making a very bad decision, not allowing there to be 6 ultimates, and an earlier take of point A meant that once again, the timer kept rolling down. By the end, it was desperation, and desperation was not enough to put Luxury Watch Blue 2-0 ahead, and we'll go into the first break 1-1.
Yep. And, you know, we had concerns about Kongdoo Panthera with the momentum, losing that first map, but now that completely shifts back over onto LW Blue.
And it's cool that we're seeing tactical pause called after one map very frequently, especially with Kongdoo Panthera, with the hotheads there, with the young players. You want to set the story early, because after the break, it gets so much more difficult.
Yep. Well, speaking of that break, we're going to go ahead, throw over to that. When we return after a few minutes, we'll have our third map tied up 1-1 at the moment. We'll see who will be moving on to match point. But unless Luna can tighten things up, it seems like Kongdoo Panthera might be able to close this out with a 3-1. See what happens. We're going to go to that break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
언제 어디서나 깔끔하고 상쾌하게. 이런 게 트래비 스타일. Stylish sparkling water. 트래비.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the break there, tied up series 1-1. Kongdoo Panthera able to answer with a win on Hollywood. And now we get ready to see who will take match point as we get ready to go on to our third map.
Predictably, things kind of fell away for Luxury Watch Blue in terms of coordination on Hybrid. Now we jump onto Assault, which may be able to emulate their performance on the first map type there, you know, trying to make it like Control, but regardless, a lot of thought being put into the decision made by Luxury Watch Blue. Volskaya has been their playground so far this season, but again, the extra factors, the unlucky factors who are largely out of the hands of the team have to be considered as well. On the side of Kongdoo Panthera, much better look on the side of Hollywood. The Hansa opening from Rascal was innovative, got them point A so much cleaner
Fantastic.
than what could happen for the side of Luxury Watch Blue, and then made the right adjustments. Only needed to jump off the Ana and onto the Genji, and things went a lot better there for Kongdoo Panthera.
Yep. So pressure very much on LW Blue right now, who after that last map looked very jumbled up as far as their communication goes. Flower especially drawing that Dragon Blade and then getting picked off was pretty crucial in their loss. But they will be moving over to Volskaya, as you say, their playground, and much more similar to Control. So
and a fun mind game of, do we see Kongdoo Panthera try the Sombra that Luxury Watch Blue have already disseminated on defense on this map? So Sombra defense a bit more risky when Luxury Watch Blue have already shown and kind of shown teams around the world the way you can potentially play against that. We'll revisit that if we do get that particular scenario in this game with Rascal on the team. Certainly a high possibility. Luxury Watch Blue just sticking with what worked before, which has been Volskaya on Assault.
So no big shocks there. Last time we saw him was Anubis. Got that 1-1 victory over the likes of CONBOX Spirit, but Volskaya going to be more comfort for them. See if they can come up with a win, move to match point, maybe even just make this a 5-game series, because they need to look as competitive as possible without Giannis on that roster. So let's go ahead, load up, get ready, see who's going to take a lead in this series as we get ready for Volskaya Industries.
everybody got it, and it was good.
No complaints then, as we open up onto Volskaya. Kongdoo Panthera going to be starting on attack. Can't really make too much sense of their comp, but Luxury Watch Blue will be opening with the Sombra on defense. Very predictable. It's the other side of the coin. I'm more interested to see what Kongdoo Panthera open up on defense, but we'll find out about that in a few minutes' time.
Still no sign of a triple support here for LW Blue. So seems like they're going to be set into this with that solo healer from Gambler on the Lucio.
I feel like Hollywood has these very specific sightlines and ways to juke that makes it uniquely appropriate to open triple support. There are some of those similar capacities on Volskaya point A as well, but there is more open area, and it does feel like can be disseminated a bit easier. So it's going to be the Sombra and the Lucio on the defensive side of things, I guess you would say.
Kongdoo Panthera just going to be pushing forward here. Something a little bit similar, as it's going to be the triple DPS.
And Luffy is going to be the one jumping onto the Lucio. 4% game time on Soldier. Did mention 5 out of 6. Only Fisher has not flexed onto Soldier so far this season for Kongdoo Panthera.
So Luffy on the Soldier 76. We'll see how much work he can get done. In the meantime, Pine starting to poke out, wants to build up for that EMP. Can't quite get the hack in, and already the first tick has been achieved here by Kongdoo Panthera. LW Blue just can't play on the point.
There's so many different sets you have to respect. Second member goes down in Luna.
And Neko popped out here as well. Will get taken out. Rascal just looking for that early Dragon Blade as he tries to assassinate Gambler. He won't be able to escape. We'll finish him off in the end, and that's going to be a very swift cap. 7 minutes on the clock here for Kongdoo.
So infrequently do you see a 7+ minute time bank. Insanity. Already rushing onto the second point so fast that no one could actually build up ultimate on the side of Kongdoo Panthera.
Yeah, a couple members close. Rascal about to be neck and neck really with Birdring, as he will go ahead and jump around the backside, looking for an easy pickoff onto somebody like Gambler. Luna stuck in the corner will just get taken down.
Yeah, Pine dies with the EMP available. If they can delay enough, he'll have it for his respawn, but 3 members now down for the side of Luxury Watch Blue.
Yeah, and on the point, haven't quite gotten anything rolling yet. They try to delay, but with Sabiolbi getting taken out, they're going to get a bit of meterage here.
And they're going to be against 6 ultimates as well, Achilles.
Yeah, this is going to be one hell of a defense. If LW Blue can do a damn thing. EMP comes down here from Pine, drops in, but he's going to be taken out right after Luna goes down to that pulse bomb. Sabiolbi throwing out his own, but will be eaten. Void, the right place, right time with the defense matrix running, and now Luffy with that tack visor. Beautiful tracking. We'll just go ahead, come up with a triple kill. Finishing off Flower at the end with Sabiolbi on top.
It might be a perfect round, Achilles.
It's really looking that way. Just under 6 minutes, they're gonna get the cap. Kongdoo Panthera, good lord.
As far as I can see, no one died on the side of Kongdoo Panthera. Might have missed one, but I believe it was a perfect round from them once it started with the triple DPS, Luffy flexing over. Didn't matter they didn't have healing because the first pick was so early. Healing was never really something necessary for the side of Panthera. You look dumbfounded again.
I am. I mean, good lord, that was one of the most dominating performances that we've ever seen on Volskaya. Just dirty, dirty stuff from the side of Kongdoo Panthera. And LW Blue, how do you even bounce back from something like that? What do you possibly run to try to match a 5-minute, 54-second time bank on Volskaya?
Don't look at me. I don't have that information. Luxury Watch Blue are the innovators. But, you know, you don't really run anything that's going to actually achieve that. Otherwise, that would be the go-to meta choice, Achilles. If you knew it was going to get the 2-minute capture, you'd run it. Triple DPS, more difficult for them to pull off given the members they have right now. The amount of flexing to pull it off would be interesting.
Well, that was like a chips quality translocator.
It's weird to say a team with Flower, Pine, and Sabiolbi will find it hard to run triple DPS. They could still do it, but with so much disarray with the rest of their members, it does feel like it might be really tough to pull off. Pine on his Widowmaker, so at least going to be going for some comfort. Rascal will be running the Sombra, and the strategy that we saw Luxury Watch Blue innovate was attacking on the right side and attacking the large health pack and stopping the Sombra from being able to play around that particular objective and have EMP super early. Luffy will be sticking his way on Soldier.
Maybe it's time. Pine has been hovering this Widowmaker for a while. We've seen people open up on attack with this. You think back to Taimu, his excellent performance on Widowmaker here on Volskaya. When they were down and out, and Seems like LW Blue might be feeling a similar way.
An opening pick would at least be a bit of wind in the sails for Luxury Watch Blue.
Already straight into the back line, though. Getting harassed out by Birdring and Rascal. They leap back to safety. Pine hasn't had an opportunity
Birdring's
to go
taken down
for a shot. Yeah, that's going to be a nice one. Luna wrapping around the backside.
They actually go for the opposite side. They still attack the same point they used to, going for the big health back against Sombra.
Dropping down the barrier, trying to zap away at Luffy, who's still over onto this soldier, but might have bitten off more than he can chew. One final shot will get rid of him. Flower finds a kill in onto Rascal, but he's in danger of going down himself.
Trading
So
pretty
going
evenly
forward.
so far, but the respawns are going to definitely favor the side of Luxury Watch Blue.
That's going to be Flower getting picked off, but Luffy follows suit, so still exchanges back and forth, but LW Blue are at a disadvantage because they're the ones not able to posture forward onto the point. Self-destruct thrown out, not going to find anything, so a bit of a waste there from Meko. Gambler goes down as well, so LW Blue will be halted, and Pine, he really hasn't been able to get a shot off.
Had to have such innovative approaches to deal with the triple DPS. They could never have just played sit on the point, Luxury Watch Blue, and then deal. What happens? Pine is being completely occupied by first Rascal and now Birdring in the backline, and EMP certainly will be available if they try to sit on the point like Kongdoo Panthera were able to do on their attack.
I mean, he needs some excellent picks if they're going to come up with any success here. There we go! That's a nice one. Finds Rascal, just takes him down, gets rid of that EMP for a couple seconds, and now LW Blue feeling comfortable to go ahead, push forward onto the point, at least with a few members. Aren't building up the meter yet, but now Pine has a nice high ground spot. Sound barrier comes through from both sides, but still Kongdoo Panthera are the ones coming out with the kills. Meko popped out, Gambler taken down, and Sabiobi as well with the tack visor gets finished off.
And all that really bought them was forcing Kongdoo Panthera to use a bit of their toolkit to repel the rest of the engage.
And they still have the EMP for the next push from LW Blue, so honestly, not the worst thing for Rascal to die there.
Never want to get casually flicked by a Widowmaker when diving, but I agree with you, so instant that he couldn't even use the translocator. All Luxury Watch Blue can do is ignore the timer, try to capture this point A, but like you say, the tools, the war chest, the ultimate economy, everything working for Kongdoo.
Yeah, it's nothing more than one for the highlight reel, just trying to get these shots on a Birdring, but he's just missing everything. Pine not playing like his usual self. EMP's ready to go yet again, nothing picked up on the point for LW Blue, and Luna goes low, so he's got to hightail it out of there, leaps his way to safety. EMP does come through. Rascal is trying to open up some opportunities for more picks here for his team. Going to be in an exchange right now. Gambler going down. Flower drawing out the Dragon Blade, though. Does find Waka Waka, but Luffy is able to finish him off. Follows up with a double kill as he gets rid of Luna with those Helix rockets. And Void is just sitting strong and pretty here on the point. Still tanky on the Diva. And yet again, a bit of an oddly placed self-destruct by Meko. Not going to find much more than the pop on Void's suit.
I mean, their first attack, Luxury Watch Blue-esque, very much attacking the big health pack, but since then, it's been very disorganized from the side of Luxury Watch Blue. We still haven't seen the double dive as Luffy dies.
He'll kill himself by accident there, maybe. A decent opening as Void has fallen. Meko will be exchanged out of the suit. Sound barrier coming down, Waka Waka able to get it off this time. As he tries to stay alive, but will go down to the end. Flower finding that kill. First tick has been picked up here for LW Blue. With 20 seconds remaining, this is going to be their final hope. Sound barrier does come down. The EMP out from Rascal immediately.
No health
Trying
pack,
to keep them contained, but yet no health pack available. Will go down, was just too low. Luffy popping that tack visor, sitting in the biotic field, trying to find a kill. Gets rid of Pine, gets rid of Sabiobi. No, dashes back with the recall actually, so still alive. But
Yes,
will
Sabiobi
not
as
long
well.
for this world. Yeah, does take him out after he reappears into overtime. Meko, the only one sitting in on the point, gets booped back and goes low. The suit about to expire. Popped out, trying to buy enough time here as we see Luna yet again leaping in, but like you say, one by one, getting taken out, self-destruct thrown out. Not going to find any kills, but it might have been enough to zone them back. He'll be coming back in here on the Tracer, gets the snap back, but it's only a matter of time. He'll go down, Flower can't get there. And just like that, match point as Kongdoo Panthera takes Volskaya.
It was still pretty heroic stuff right at the end by Luffy and Void. Void rushing in, ushering the defense matrix for Luffy to open up and taking down 4 basically off his own back. It wasn't just the beautiful tracking we always make fun of, but nice Helix rockets, good flicks, able to take down multiple members. Very nice stuff by him in an unfamiliar role, jumping onto the soldier for extended game time. And now you see the members, Luffy himself clapping. Kongdoo Panthera can feel it. one map away from their first visit to the semifinal.
And I mean, this was the one that we thought maybe LW Blue can bounce back on, go onto the assault map, find success because it is so similar to Control, but they don't find it, and instead they're going to be calling out a tactical pause.
We'll have to decide where they're going on Escort. Last time we saw the team of Luxury Watch Blue on Escort, you will remember them completely exploiting CONBOX Spirit on Route 66, and I think Route 66 is probably their best hope, you would say, in this particular scenario. 2-0 for the season.
I mean, it was a complete shutout on Route 66. Yep. Not making it to point A was CONBOX Spirit, and then it was a very short journey for LW Blue to complete that map, close out that series, and then move into this match.
But there's actually a lot for them to discuss in this tactical pause, because is Pine jumping back on the Lucio that he didn't look great on first point of Oasis? Are they going to change things up? They tried the Widowmaker, it didn't work. Widowmaker really feels like a confidence hero. When you have a good map on her, you're ready to lock her in again. After a performance like that, maybe reticent to. So they have a lot to talk about because, again, it does feel like they're filling. They're trying to fill the void left by Giannis, unable to play. And a lot to discuss here because, once again, the hero lineup is ambiguous for Luxury Watch Blue on this day.
Yeah. They just, unfortunate that they don't have Giannis with them in the hospital at the moment. So not any situation that you want to be, for your player, but also as a squad getting ready to go into such an important match.
And pneumothorax is what he was down with. Collapsed lung is the expectation, but no confirmation on the nitty-gritty there. Regardless, meant that he was certainly not able to come in here. What I understand, he wanted to play. The team said, no, you can't delay your surgery. You can't delay your condition. You need to focus on that. It is a double chance match. It is very much the winner's bracket. So if he can get himself together for the next match, that's probably more important to them, is overall health than just a winner's bracket final.
Oh, for sure. And I hope that with the team likely not winning this series, that they will still show support for Janus, because you expect that there's probably going to be a bit of self-blame there from him. Like, if I was there, it wouldn't be that way, that sort of thing. So hopefully everybody, the fans as well, can still show their support, because this, there is a tragedy to befall this org.
I mean, if you follow that logic, though, his selfish decision was, I'll delay the condition, and the team decision was, no, go for it instead. So it is the right kind of ordinance for people to overlook. Was just a very unfortunate out of nowhere situation to really befall Giannis, and it makes it very difficult to be too harsh about Luxury Watch Blue, or the fact that Luna has been so disconnected, because you can't really expect more than what we're getting.
Yeah, I mean, the things that we can ridicule, the minor decisions, such as Flower, drawing out the Dragon Blade, those individual ones, not so much the macro decisions, not playing around the Winston, that's all stuff that you really have to withhold your commentary, your judgment for, but those minor ones that add up so very quickly, that's what you can really kind of pick apart. But down to the last second here, tactical pause will be over. Coach is going to have to leave the booth. We'll see how much work they were able to get done. Head coach shaking hands here with Pine. So maybe hoping to instill some confidence out of a very out-of-character performance on the Widowmaker.
Still unclear what style of Luxury Watch Blue we will see on Escort. So far undefeated on that map type. Or they just pick Route 66 and hope for the best. That may be the best way forward for the side of Luxury Watch Blue. Kongdoo Panthera, again, one step away. They were reverse swept by the side. But so many times, Lunatic-Hai most recently. It's never over till it's over for the side of Kongdoo Panthera. The loss to Mighty AOD from this position happened as well. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. But right now, all they have their minds set on is victory. The 3-2 victory for the side of LW Blue. Not looking that possible, but they will be moving over to Route 66. Can they complete the full hold on point A is going to be the question.
I think, I know you say that without that much earnest, but it'll be tough here. Again, losing kind of too much analytical points to say just because of the unenviable position Luxury Watch Blue is in. The assault map was over just as it started. They'll want Escort to be more competitive and at least force Kongdoo Panthera to fight for their berth into semifinals.
Well, let's see what kind of a defense LW Blue can put up, see what kind of fight they have left in them. Backs against the wall, match point for Kongdoo Panthera as we move on to what could be our final map of the night. Route 66, almost said Hollywood, but Route 66, selected by LW Blue.
I get it.
So still hanging in there, LW Blue fans, but renewed vigor there from the side of Kongdoo Panthera. The victory is in the eyes of the players, in the fans here joining us at the Seoul East Stadium. They're ready for a Kongdoo Panthera victory. They want to see their favorite team advance into the semifinal.
And will be jumping onto the Ana to start this defense. Good sight lines for Ana on defense on this particular map. And it has been a hero he's shown a lot of promise on already. His offensive Ana picking up multiple kills. Very bloodthirsty stuff from Pine when we saw him just a week ago. Otherwise, we are going to be seeing the Mercy used. Mercy has become more and more common on Route 66 and some of these escort maps. Not necessarily full investment in pharmacy, just that there is, you're talking about hiding a Mercy. Playing Whack-A-Mole when there's so many different ways to hide as Mercy on this particular map has made it very, very valuable.
Showing that Junkrat for a moment, but don't expect to be seeing that one. Or maybe we will, actually. He's going to go ahead. He's going to fire off a couple volleys, just looking to get a couple hits. Won't find anything much, so goes ahead and swaps back over onto the Winston as anticipated.
And Birdring will be jumping onto the Widowmaker this time. Opening
Sniper
up for that
battle, perhaps between he and Pine. We'll see how much damage output Pine can offer up with that Ana, but likely going to have to focus in on healing for the most part. Already though, CBLB getting taken out. Didn't quite see it on screen, but kill feed tells the story. Birdring found a shot, he took it. Looking for a bit more to get rid of Gambler, who goes dangerously low and will be just hounded down by Void. So already strong push getting ready to happen here for Kongdoo Panthera as they go ahead and knock Meko out.
Yeah, really good disengage there from Kongdoo Panthera. Luxury Watch Blue saw the Widowmaker, looked for a dive. Widowmaker backed away. The rest of the team stood robustly. Dive failed from Luxury Watch Blue, as it has the last couple of maps, and that means nice push here past Big Earls.
Looking for the snipe, just finds a body shot in onto Luna. Can't quite get Flower. That's coming through there from Sebiobi yet again, leaps back, grapple up over the wall, and just helps just fire down Luna. Machine gun just takes him out. Payload just in front of point A already, but Flower comes through. They will use the res just to get the Widowmaker back up. So big investment there from Waka Waka, but feeling confident in Birdring, and there you go. Gets the Baby Diva as soon as she comes out of the back yet again.
Seeing the battle with the Genji though, looks like Genji's gonna track it down. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Flower finds it. Can he get anything else? So draws out the Dragon Blade, gets cut down. Didn't quite finish the channel, so will still have it for himself, but Rascal, fast reactions, just takes him out with a swipe.
Yeah, Luxury Watch Blue, when they saw the Widowmaker, had to make adjustments. They jumped onto the Zenyatta this time from Pine, no longer on the Ana. Gambler off the Mercy as well. The swaps meant they didn't have any ults to potentially contest at the last. So we get to the streets phase very briskly for Kongdoo Panthera.
Playing with fire there with that deflect. Birdring not taking the shot, doesn't want to risk it. Finds a couple hits though in onto Flower. Nothing lethal, no headshots for him yet, but he's still sticking forward with this Widowmaker, has confidence that he can have this work.
I'll be taken down by Sebiobi, didn't get to use Transcendence either in his Flower.
Yeah, there's Flower yet again. Like I said, he did still have that Dragon Blade, goes through, finds the double kill, finishing off Rascal, and will get Fisher as well as he's just trying to retreat back towards the spawn. Or Winston gets taken down, they'll pop Void out of the mech and leave him to likely have to run all the way back over past Big Girls and kill himself. Nope, he's actually going to go ahead and swap.
Yeah, Birdring jumps on the Soldier as well. Some adjustments, like you say, coming through from Kongdoo Panthera. We're merciless.
Wasn't sure how much he had there for that self-destruct, but decided it was enough to surrender. Transcendence comes down in the meantime here from Luffy as Flower and CBLB both have died, so DPS members of LW Blue being taken out. Meko popped out, Luna going down, so the tanks eliminated as well, and the payload will keep moving. Nearly halfway there now to point B with 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, really good sight lines as well on Birdring. Not going to be any high ground defense going to be able to set up. It's going to be pretty much the last second defense as the cart continues to push. Trying to fight for the bridge.
Looking for it. Heal back immediately. There's going to be the Dragon Blade out here from Rascal. Transcendence. Helping him out, just keeping him topped up. This Gambler goes down. We'll find Pine, getting rid of him. Now dropping down in behind Sapiolbi, just trying to finish off anybody that he can. Finds the right click on the flower, dashes through to get Meko. Sapiolbi goes down, and looks like that payload might just be rolling into point B right now. Last second contest would have to come from Gambler, so they'll just concede this over.
Yeah, Kongdoo Panthera on attack and defense, a very different beast. Void is one of the best attacking divas, shutting down enemies, diving in with Rascal. That time drew out the Transcendence, didn't necessarily have any other ults if the Transcendence was down, but they were still able in the disarray to chase down members. We're already at the last point here of Route 66, and it's already gone much further than Luxury Watch Blue had to attack last time.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I'd love to see Kongdoo Panthera take on EnVyUs, Mickey versus Void, be hell of a diva battle.
Very similar identity between those two.
Luna going to be the first one to fall here as the attack continues from Kongdoo Panthera. Attack visor coming up from Birdring, looking for an angle as everybody just piles in behind the pillars.
That means no one's contesting the card. They'll continue to free push, so okay. Not
5
further
members on at
kills.
6 now. They just keep this thing rolling in, looking for the completion. We're able to get it on Hollywood. Maybe yet again now on Route 66. Last second contest going to come through for LW Blue, throwing down that sound barrier as they try to stay alive. Void has the self-destruct ready to go. Waiting for perhaps the mech to get popped, just firing away, trying to get in onto Luna, who has that primal rage, but a Discord Orb on him. Both self-destructs come through, neither diva going to find any kills, but still zoning them back a few meters. All that remains here for Kongdoo Panthera, but Luffy gets picked off. Rascal building up for that Dragon Blade as quickly as possible, but the Transcendence is already going to be used here by LW Blue. Felt the need to go ahead and use that one out, that Pine, to keep his team alive. Rascal's going to go ahead and try to peel back. They will get stopped out just in front of point C. 2 minutes 35 on the clock to complete this push.
Yeah, they saw Rascal coming in. He hadn't used his Dragon Blade in a long while, so made the educated guess that they needed to actually use the Transcendence. Got some further picks, but crucially, Kongdoo Panthera show us something to increase our expectation about them. Not necessarily a reflection of their opponents, but them holding on to ultimates and not overusing them when a push is clearly going to be thwarted. They don't use any further tools, and now they return to the attack, knocking on the front door with a lot in their war chest.
False bomb out, but it doesn't seem like it got a stick. They're not going to find anything there. Flower being jumped on with attack visor, goes low. One more hit will do it, and there we go. Fisher finishes them off with that primal rage. Dragon Blade being drawn out. Rascal slicing away, finds Meko, knocks him out, takes him down with Gambler to boot. Sapiolbi comes in to try to defend it in the last second, but it will be completed. 1 minute 48 on the clock here for Kongdoo Panthera, and yet again, LW Blue in a position where they have to go all the way to the finish line.
And it's going to be so difficult for them. It feels like the script was followed, Achilles. We were kind of surprised to see how good Luxury Watch Blue were able to make things work on Control, but Control, again, about the individual outplays, not necessarily about the strategy, like, for example, Payload. Every time we have seen the contest onto Payloads by Luna, it has been the Winston dropping down early, predictably. His standard hero pool, Zenyatta, Ana, so Mercy aren't really known for that front of teamfight contest. And thus, we look at Luxury Watch Blue, and this potentially could be the end of their run in the winner's bracket, but not the end of their run in the tournament.
Everything coming down to this right now for LW Blue. Semi-final hopes could be snuffed out, at least for the moment, with a loss here on Route 66. Was their selection. We saw such a dominating performance from them versus CONBOX Spirit. But you can tell, not having Giannis on the team, the disjointedness is just a bit too much for them to work with. So, hopefully, will be available for their next match.
It's a very surreal point to be an analytical caster in a winner's match and yet have to really caveat and cage and asterisk so much of this match. You can't really stand there and wave your fingers at Luxury Watch Blue. They're doing the best with the hand they have been dealt. But that's not good enough to potentially contest Kongdoo Panthera unless there is one hell of a push coming out on attack on Route 66. It was the strength of their defense on this map that carried them to their last victory over CONBOX Spirit. It's going to have to be an insane attack And we'll see what Luxury Watch Blue can put forward.
Yep, it's going to be the 2-2-2 here as Pine goes back over onto that Zenyatta. Much about to be matching compositions. The Flower on the Genji rather than the Soldier. Go ahead and start working around this first corner. Get below Big Girls. Rascal poking out, trying to build up for that attack visor.
Let's wait to see if we can see some coordination between Luna.
Flower going low. Discord Orb comes through, the headshot registers. Rascal finds the opening kill, follows up with a double as he gets rid of Luna as well. And that should be enough to just stop LW Blue right in their tracks.
And I was going to say, the most transparent Winston dive combo is onto Big Girls, the standard point to contest on attack. I was going to say, will we see the needed cohesion between Luna and Meko diving up there? Flower died first, then the Winston was completely exposed. And so was that first attack. We do have an audio issue once again on the side of Kongdoo Panthera that clearly was not resolved from earlier in the series.
We took care of it, I would expect, very swiftly the last time around, so hopefully it's going to be another quick fix so we can get this match continuing. All right, so
Good thing about headset issues is that they are
an issue.
Good thing about headset issues are that they can be very easily replaced, so hopefully we're able to get back in.
Seems like it's with Waka Waka.
Yeah, the contest onto Big Earl is something you don't need to be a super experienced Winston to be able to do. It's very much rinse and repeat. That was the part where I'm like, if they can make this work, that's at least higher expectations for what they can do in terms of their dive. First attempt failed. They'll need to make it happen again. It was like the battle for Big Earls, the highlight of the first part of Route 66, and so far so good for the side of Kongdoo Panthera on defense.
Yep. 50-degree angle, hit shift, drop the barrier, zap people.
And hopefully have a Diva and potentially a Genji diving in with you at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot of Overwatch players play by feel. I feel like that's still the case with Overwatch. You know, it's still a very young game. Feels like the drills will come over the years, you know, extra scrim time. And you don't have the feel. You can't have the same exact trust in your Winston player when it's an unfamiliar situation for Luna. And you notice it's just inches, it's just seconds. But inches and seconds can make all the difference at the highest level.
I mean, that's what the game's all about in the end. Here we go, though. Back into it. As LW Blue just tries to get back in onto the payload to keep this thing moving. They're going to get jumped on. That's Matrix there to help keep him safe, and he's still very healthy at the moment. This Flower just keeps poking up, trying to build up for that Dragon Blade. They will finally take down Luffy off the high ground. He falls, will go down. Luna gets picked off, however. So trading back is Kongdoo Panthera onto the fence, but the payload has otherwise been pretty much untouched by Kongdoo, so got a little bit of distance, but now dropping down Rascal. Throwing out that tack visor, trying to get some hits into the Transcendence.
Waka Waka dies during the sound barrier.
He does, gets picked off. Yeah, that's the Pulse Bomb coming through, so yet again, not able to complete it. And Flower draws out the Dragon Blade. Finds a kill in onto Rascal. As they try to keep things moving, gets Bird Ring as well, dropping down off Big Girls. Finds a swipe onto the Tracer. And that might just be the point A completion, unless there's a last second push here, which there will be. Sound barrier down from both teams as Void drops in. Gonna have to be the one really sitting in onto the payload to try to buy a lot of time here for his squad.
His sound barrier, the self-destruct thrown in the air, gets nothing.
Yeah, not gonna find anything. Meanwhile, Flower single-handedly takes out both of the supporting members. Waka Waka and Luffy both go down. And it's a decent run back at this point. They'll try to be getting back in to contest this payload. Void getting popped out, should be taken out very swiftly, and he will. And that'll be the completion on point A.
And the fans go wild. They see their team evolving in front of their eyes. Much better second dive onto Big Earls from the side. Luxury Watch Blue is Pulse Bomb.
Pulse Bomb comes out, finds Rascal. Big opening here for Sabiolbi. Can he follow up? Looking for Luffy, almost takes him out. Will get him in the end as Luna pops the Primal Rage, just smacks him around a little bit. They'll follow up for Fisher. This is the performance that we wanted to see from LW Blue on attack, and so far they're delivering.
They dive very deep. They stopped there from being a static defense pulled out by Kongdoo Panthera. Have to lick their wounds and try to regroup. Time bank is smaller for Luxury Watch Blue, but feels like finally the momentum is going their way after 2 down maps for Luxury Watch Blue.
Looking significantly better here. Flower gonna have to bail out immediately, gets himself away from that angry Winston. Rascal firing away. He will take out Luna in close quarters. Self-destruct tossed out. Not going to find anything here for Meko, and he will die in the end. Let's see, Yolvi comes up with the kill on the Bird Ring, but the payload has been halted for now, just about halfway there to point B.
They need to invest Transcendence to make that happen, though, Kongdoo Panthera, and they may have Rascal with the tack visor. But Dragon Blade and Transcendence available for Luxury Watch Blues. They still do have tools to win a potential skirmish.
What the approach is going to be. Sabiobi not quite getting that third dash, and now Flower, drawing out that Dragon Blade, but he's going to get taken out immediately. Luffy finishes him off, and Sabiobi throws out the pulse bomb, finds the kill onto Rascal, who is very low, but the rest of his team is getting ripped apart. Momentum has been halted. Meko popped out into Baby Diva, and they could just let him go. Has to run all the way back to the spawn to swap.
Yeah, double disengage on Flower as he drew the Dragon Blade. Meant that he got no value from it, didn't die during the animation, so still has to build it all up again. The time, just like on Hollywood, keeps ticking for the side of Luxury Watch Blue.
2 minutes, 20 seconds now. Need the completion and need one hell of a steamroll push through the garage to get to point C for the completion. Birdring has a pulse bomb ready to go. We'll see if he can find a prime target. The sound barrier does come down here from Kongdoo Panthera. Rascal with attack visor getting booped back. Still has the high ground, looking for a kill on the Gambler. Doesn't quite get it, and Luffy's actually going to be the first one to get picked off here on this skirmish as Luna goes wild with the primal rage. Birdring throws it out, not going to find anything, and now is in danger of getting leapt on. Pine wraps around from the backside, comes through the building, and actually finishes him off.
Coming from all different directions here, but it's all Luxury Watch Blue. Ultimate's used very early by the side of Kongdoo Panthera, and Pine could hold on to the Transcendence and largely turn the fight. Not going to be all one-way traffic, but largely exactly what Luxury Watch Blue needed, but they haven't full pushed to point C yet. There is going to be a contest at the last.
Certainly is. Kongdoo Panthera at least want to drain the clock as much as they possibly can. Luna already going to get picked off the Helix Rockets from Rascal, able to finish him off. And Gambler contained into that side room. Go forward, Void just trying to finish off. Meko gets him before he can make it back into the mech. A huge pick off for Kongdoo Panthera on the delay, as it's now about to be a minute on the clock. Still a little ways to go for this push. And this is going to be rough tidings for LW Blue.
Yeah, just you watch this game and you think Kongdoo Panthera is a better dive team than Luxury Watch Blue, and we know that's almost certainly not the case, but with the current lineups, that's just the reality here. It feels a bit like Meta Athena trying to play dive against other teams because they're so disconnected. But they're also, look at that, very nice.
Yeah, finds the deflection on the Luffy, and he had the Transcendence available. Now Flower going to be free to go ahead and draw the Dragon Blade, trying to cut his way through Fisher, will be able to do so, but can he find more as one more swipe gets booped away by Waka Waka. Won't be able to find any more picks, but Birdring does go down. Now just trying to fire up into the backside of Void, finish him off, dashes through the enemy to get himself away from that self-destruct. Keeps himself safe now. Rascal pushing back in, Transcendence thrown down, has that attack visor ready to go, finishes off Pine, but now getting smacked back in towards the spawn by a very angry Luna, but Sabiobi goes down before Waka Waka, or before Gambler can throw out the sound barrier. Does so now, but there's just so few members here to profit from him to stay on top of the payload. Luna rejoins, immediately gets taken down, just 4.88 meters away. Flower will be finished off. Meko popped out of the mech in a matter of seconds. And that is going to be overtime ticking down. Can they delay any further?
Pine's Transcendence, so he'll last at least a little while, but it's one by one.
Yeah, now it's him all by himself. Pulse Bomb sticking to the barrier, not going to find anything. Gambler coming back in, this time without that sound barrier to buy the time. Overtime ticks down, and there you go. Kongdoo Panthera come up with the victory on Route 66, and they will be our second team advancing into the semifinals.
Well, you look at Kongdoo Panthera, no one is falling out of their chairs celebrating because they understand that they were given the stack deck and they did the minimum expected. They got through to the semifinal against a Luxury Watch Blue team that was outgunned in the end with Giannis not able to play. No reason to feel elated. Still things to work on for Kongdoo Panthera. It wasn't flawless by any means.
But there was also some clear improvements, the ultimate usage from this squad. Not losing their minds, dumping everything all at once, being much more staggered with it, almost Afreeca Blue-esque.
And that's the fun thing, is that on the side of Luxury Watch Blue, some mistakes from not Luna are the ones that are going to be much more important.
Yeah.
You think of on Hollywood, right at the last second, jumping off the point on the Diva from Meko and contesting the enemy Zenyatta because he knew he was low and thus giving up the point, and also from Flower drawing the blade at the wrong time. Like you say, it's the little things that weren't actually to do with the level of opposition that you can compliment Kongdoo Panthera for. Like you say, specifically, less use of ultimates in bad scenarios and largely less reliance and less stubbornly jumping on new comps that weren't working.
Yeah. Seemed like LW Blue were the team that was mostly suffering from that, Flower especially. But you can see not necessarily disappointment from this squad. They knew that they were going to be a bit crippled coming into this one, given that Giannis is in the hospital. And, you know, I expect that perhaps they leave here today and they just go visit him. They visit their team member, they talk him up and say, you know what, it's okay. We'll get ready for the next one. We're still alive in this tournament.
And that's what the important factor is. Luxury Watch Blue is not eliminated from Apex Season 3. They are able to get Giannis back. They are still one of the front runners for the tournament. But today is one of those weird days where, sure, the winning team was Kongdoo Panthera, but it doesn't really interact with our expectations for them come the semifinal. They're still the team that lost to Mighty AOD a couple of weeks ago, and the team that upset Lunatic-Hai. But this one, it was a bit of a wash.
Yeah. You can see, though, handshakes and hugs being exchanged from both of these teams, so the sportsmanship still very much alive, especially from LW Blue, so not going to be poor sports about this loss. So always good to see. Just unfortunate tidings for them. But Kongdoo Panthera, you know, an expected victor in this, even with Giannis on the roster, taking down Lunatic-Hai with the 3-1. One of the favorites for the tournament alongside Freecs Blue.
That's fair to say. Group A was pretty damn stacked with Lunatic-Hai, Kongdoo Panthera, Rogue, and friends in that group. Kongdoo Panthera, at this point, finally getting away from their semi-final curse. Winners bracket into being eliminated from Group B of Season 2. They finally go one better. They finally make it to the semis.
Yep. Well, on the day, in case you missed our first set, you didn't miss a whole lot. Freecs Blue, another 3-0 victory. Another 3-0 victory over X6, and less than an hour, really, for that entire best of 5 to wrap up.
Every Freecs Blue series in Season 3 has been blink and you miss it. You can definitely, if you're waiting for Series 2, just add an hour to the start time. That's when it seems that you'll be getting to watch teams like Kongdoo Panthera and Luxury Watch Blue play. X6-Gaming, hard again to read them. Went down 6-0 over the course of this tournament to Freecs Blue after once again having that rematch of Group B. And then in Group B of the round of 8, Luxury Watch Blue surprised us. They came out strong. They won control after dropping the first map, showed some good tidings, but the moment that it had to be super coordinated like Payload, Escort usually are, that's when you saw the differences of having a Winston main and having Luna doing his best in a bad situation.
Yeah. Oasis, at least competitive there, but by the time you got to Volskaya, it was pretty much done. One of the fastest caps that we've ever seen Kongdoo Panthera pulling it off 7 minutes, over 7 minutes, ready to go. But the next matchups on Tuesday is going to be EnVyUs taking on Meta Athena. Losers of these games will be out of the tournament. Need a victory here to advance and play against the losers that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, that first match is so fun. A lot of history between Team EnVyUs and Meta Athena as well. Even as recently in this tournament, then CONBOX Spirit, this unknown quantity that went down in their series last time against a Lunatic-Hai team. Will we see Who Are You back in the lineup, given that Guido wasn't enough to get them over the line against Kongdoo Panthera?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions here. For all of these teams, Meta Athena, what have they been cooking up? EnVyUs, how are they back, bouncing back from their loss against X6, the squad that they first and foremost picked during the group draw. They were blindsided a bit. They thought CONBOX was going to be the wild card, but X6 still had a couple tricks up their sleeve. Fortunately, it just didn't really work against the Freecs Blue.
And in Meta Athena, will they actually show us tricks? Because instead of being this team with Libero leading the way, with Sire Player impressing us on new picks, they've been going for Dive, where I'm not sure they're a top 8 dive team. Dive has never been their identity. Neither of these teams are big on the Genji. We might actually see a Genji-less first match.
Would be a pretty crazy one to see, but all of these games now moving forward, down to the wire, breakneck speed for all the marbles.
That's the fun thing. Single elimination for the rest of the tournament. Every single match. There is no second chances. You might be waiting the semifinal. You might get more information, but no one else gets double chance.
Yeah, so the pressure is on, and the teams need to be way more prepared than they ever have been throughout the duration of this tournament so far. So you can expect everybody, especially EnVyUs, for all you Western fans out there, to be putting in hours and hours of work to try to prep for that game.
I mean, that's the fun thing about single elimination. There's no silver linings. There's no, well, we can come back and learn from this. It's not a league. It's a tournament from this point forward. Single elimination means you show up on the day or you go home.
I mean, for EnVyUs, they've been able to come back to Korea and try it again.
That's true.
They have a good record of that, but you never know what will happen for Season 4 and who will be here. So Who knows?
We don't have that information.
Yeah.
They do feel like a Korean team, given that they're largely European players and have spent the better part of, what, 9 months in Korea?
Yeah, I mean, they might as well just be adopted as Korean teams.
I think the global fans need all the teams.
All right, so EnVyUs can't be in the Overwatch League. They're a Korean team now, so they're just going to be in
Hey, there's no rules about region locking from what we know.
That's true. We don't know. There's still a lot of questions to be answered, alongside of who is going to win, who is going to be those other teams in the semifinal, because Afreeca Freecs Blue, they look like they're going to be the favorite to make it into the final, take one hell of a performance from these guys to try to take them down. But on the other side, who's it going to be from Group B?
This is information we don't have because we get to sit back and watch as our other two casters will lead us through the next match.
Well, you say other two casters, but I'm going to be one of those casters. I'll be joined by Wolf on Tuesday to bring you guys the Apex action, so we'll see you then. Have a good night.